This show is sponsored by BetterHelp Therapy Online. You don't have to have life all figured out. You just have to show up every day. Talking with a therapist helps you feel more confident while you're navigating figuring out who you are. Visit betterhelp.com/allies and take care of you because, well, you deserve to.
Hello. Welcome to the Easy Allies podcast. I'm Daniel Bloodworth coming to you from Los Angeles, California. This week I'm joined by Bradley Ellis.
Hi.
And Michael Damiani.
How's it going?
Huber's not feeling well, unfortunately, today, so send him your best wishes. In the control room we have Don Casanova.
The only, one and only Don Casanova.
Don Casanova.
Don Casanova.
Don Casanova again.
Oh my
Also
God.
on Frame Trap.
Oh, yeah.
Don Casanova.
Yeah. Isla's in there and Gabby's in there, too.
Hi. We're in here, but we are unimportant. Really, Don is the star of the show. Don Casanova, we couldn't do it without you, bud.
I should probably wave again.
You should probably wave a second time, honestly. There he is.
Don is a core pillar.
He's beautiful.
Don is our fog master.
He's a load-bearing member.
Yes.
All right.
Friends, we're here to talk about the biggest headlines in video games this week. The Game Awards nominees are out. NPDs are out. PC Gaming Show had a thing this morning. Yeah, it was interesting. We'll get into it. I know you guys missed it while you were streaming, but
We? Okay.
But before we get started, Don Romantica needs to go shopping.
Oh.
Listeners, we've spent the last few months training our custom character, Don Romantica. Now it's time to gear up. Last week we found a series of treasures, including digested armor in the belly of a mimic, a plasma pistol dropped in an old library, and a chaos emerald hidden behind a waterfall. All of which we sold for a nice total of 1,300 gold.
All right.
Big time.
Now I get to spend it. So we're going to be buying a weapon, an armor, an accessory.
Okay.
You have to buy one of each, okay? And unfortunately, while you can surmise what direction an item might go, these stingy merchants aren't going to let you peer in and see all the stats.
Oh.
You kind of have to go with your gut and the value
Okay.
to get an idea. So I'm going to read through all the options first, and we'll put them up on the screen for them to see. And then you can decide where you're going to put your money.
All right.
For weapons, there's the Moonveil Katana from Elden Ring for 500 gold.
Is this pre-nerf or post-nerf?
Don't know.
Okay.
All right.
The Kasabimaru from Sekiro for 300 gold.
It's pretty good.
Or Sephiroth's Masamune for 700 gold.
It's a little too much.
It's pretty big.
For armor, a custom-tailored fashion-born costume, custom Victorian Gothic threads for 600 gold,
Okay.
a replica ninja suit from Final Fantasy VI's Shadow
Oh.
for 300 gold, T-51 power armor from Fallout for 800 gold.
I already got.
I don't know about that.
I think I have in my head. So too.
And then our accessories list, Zora mask for 300 gold, an enchanted mug for 200 gold. I'll give you a little bit of a hint on what this is for. Once a day, this mug can magically fill itself with strong ale.
Okay.
The Dagger of Time for 400 gold.
For Prince of Persia?
Mm-hmm. And then Nathan Drake's ring, Sic Parvis Magna, for 100 gold.
The ring? Okay.
So put them on screen and let's figure out
All right.
where you're going to put your money.
So we have a lot of stats in sword.
Yes, we do. The sword is super important.
My thinking is to go all in on the weapon and then figure out a way to get an accessory and armor to fit it.
So the Masamune is the most expensive. It is humongous, though, also.
Yeah, we have so much sword damage that like,
we do.
If it's like,
I don't want Bloodworth to put us in a situation, though, where we're going to hit a wall with our sword. That's what I'm worried about. Blood putting us in a tight space.
Then we got to get the Moonveil Katana.
Is the Kasubami, I don't know how to say it. Is that his main sword or is that the Mortal Blade he gets later?
You know, I don't know.
That's important, Bloodworth.
I didn't look it up.
That's important. The Mortal Blade.
Well, the Mortal Blade is called the Mortal Blade, right?
Okay, well, there's 2 Mortal Blades.
Whatever.
Let's do the Masamune.
Moonveil.
Well, it got nerfed, though.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking for armor, we also have stealth, right?
Yes.
So shadows.
Shadows,
replica.
probably. Yeah.
Fushigiri is the Mortal Blade, says Chad.
Which one?
Fushigiri.
And there's 2 of them. Okay. Maybe that's his normal sword. Whatever.
It's the main one.
I would say the Masamune, and I would say Shadow also.
Which leaves us only with 300 to
So we
get.
have to get...
We have to either get the Zora Mask or the Enchanted Mug or Drake's Ring. We have transformation, right, with that mumbo jumbo thing?
We do,
That's kinda
and is the Zora Mask can actually transform us into the Zora like Majora's Mask? Or isn't there a Zora's Mask like Ocarina or something?
But blood.
What?
I'm sorry. Blood also. Yeah, there's Zora Mask is where to interact. It doesn't transform.
It's
you.
not going to be the one from
Yeah.
Majora's
Enchanted
Mask.
Mug. He said something about strength, like strong ale or whatever.
Yeah.
And we have
Strength. Our main stats, I think, are like...
strength and
Okay.
sword.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
And stealth, I think, are our highest ones, right?
Okay. I'm not opposed to that.
This is speculation, though.
I know.
That's what I'm thinking.
Maybe
but
it's like Sea of Thieves, and it'll just give us a projectile vomit ability.
That's pretty good.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, if the Zora Mask doesn't transform us, Damiani, then I don't want it.
Yeah, I don't want it either. I don't know Drake's Ring. Like, what would you think?
But
that
do you
would
think Blood thought about that, the Zora Mask transforming?
Yeah, Blood knows about Majora's Mask.
No, I know he knows that one, but the other one that doesn't.
What would that even give us then? I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just do, I would say the Masamune, Shadow, and then the Mug.
What say you, Isla?
I'd go Moonveil Katana and then whatever else, but whatever. Masamune is sick as hell too, so yeah, do that.
Sephiroth did cut buildings in half with
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So-
Sephiroth, yeah, do that one.
All right. But what's your accessory? Mug?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll go with Mug.
Okay.
All right, that's fine.
So here's your stat reveal.
Oh, God.
So Masamune, +3 strength, +5 swordsmanship.
Yo, we roll.
Huge.
The ninja suit, +4 flexibility.
Oh, nice.
And then the mug, +3 to speech, -3 to navigation.
Oh, well.
But that's like it's an accessory, so it's like you use it when you need it kind of thing. You take that swig.
Okay, so if we get in a jam,
So
I guess we could try to talk our way out of it.
Yeah.
I guess.
it was, cheap. It's okay.
The Dagger of Time would have been OP, I feel like, but we're out of it.
The Dagger of Time was a reroll.
Yeah, that's cool.
Reroll. Oh, wow.
So thanks to everyone who participated today. Become a patron for $5 or more to submit to Dawn's Adventures and watch for the Love and Respect post I put up each Monday or Tuesday. Actually, this one may go up over the weekend, so keep an eye out for that because we're going to be shooting early because of Thanksgiving week next week. But Dawn's taking her shopping bags back to the inn, and now we must answer for the mistakes we made in last week's episode. Isla, begin corrections music, please.
Boop.
These are the kind that I hate because they're just straight up me just copying the wrong number. Kirby and the Forgotten Lands sales is actually up to 5.27 million copies total, not 2.61 million. That's just the number that was sold in the last quarter.
Gotcha.
A similar one from the sales reports. A few folks claim that Xenoblade 3 sales, while currently behind... Okay. I was looking into a thing.
Yeah.
Few folks claim that Xenoblade 3 sales, while currently behind 2, are still faster so far. They say that Xenoblade 2 only sold a little over 1 million after its first quarter, compared to 3's 1.7 million.
We'll see.
We'll see.
I was arguing it didn't. I don't think it has the legs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it might have had a faster month. but I
Because
don't
it
think
got a boost later
Yeah,
on.
because of the Smash Brothers
Right.
effect.
I don't know this stuff, the answer to this off the top of my head, but I think it's sort of right. Someone pointed out that birds exploding from eating rice is a myth.
Oh, really?
I still don't think it's good for them, but I don't think they explode.
Wow.
Um,
I mean, I figured I didn't figure they like exploded. I figured they just got like bloated and died from an internal hemorrhage. which would then cause sepsis, I guess, and they would die of toxic shock, probably.
Something along those lines.
Something along those lines.
Yeah, and I think bread's not good for ducks either.
Brad's not good for ducks?
I'm not.
Bread.
Oh, I thought you said Brad.
Keep those ducks away from me.
Take note as ducks.
Yeah.
That's good.
The clip of Dave Bautista in Gears of War armor wasn't just him getting hyped up and filming something himself. That was filmed for a previous trailer when he was added as a multiplayer skin.
Oh, right. He's in that game. I forgot.
Yeah. So he just like pulled that up. He's like, hey, remember this?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you have a correction, leave it in the YouTube comments on either the public version or the Patreon version of this episode. Start with the word correction, so I find it in search, and leave a timestamp for the part of video that you're correcting, so I know what we were talking about. And corrections music.
Boop. I've looked into this thing if you want to know about it.
Sure. Which thing? But either one.
The
is
one
fine.
on the screen?
The one on the screen. Live chat just gave us breaking news, like literally just happened. Apparently, Yuji Naka was arrested for insider trading.
Wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard some Square Enix folks, so I guess that would make sense since he had that the Balan team.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I guess he learned. This is from fnn.jp, and I've translated it using Google's Translate feature.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Whatever. But learned important information about Dragon Quest Tact, and bought about 10,000 shares of Aiming, is what it says, for about 2.8 million yen before the information was announced.
Before Dragon Quest game was announced?
Yeah, straight up just
Whoops.
insider trading.
Jeez.
It goes on. There's more information, but we can wait until we hear more. But yeah, that like just happened, I guess.
Wild.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's crazy stuff. Those stocks.
Yeah.
Anyways, this morning, PC Gaming Show did something for the first time. They had a PC Gaming Show outside
of E3 time?
the normal E3 timing. They had a 2023 preview, and I didn't get to like watch the whole thing from beginning to end, but I was skimming through it, and this is a weird show.
Why was it weird? What do you mean?
Because it just, I mean, for one, like you can imagine that just a couple of months later, there's not as much big stuff to be
Right.
in
Yeah.
there. They had Frankie back. Frankie Ward was hosting.
Was Dave? She was hosting. Okay.
Yeah, just her.
Oh, she's back?
Yeah,
She
and
was
then
mysteriously missing before.
I think she had a kid or something along those lines.
How terrible.
Could be wrong there.
Who's to say?
And then they also had some segments in there from one of the PC Gamer staff.
Oh, okay.
I think it's named Imogen. I didn't catch the last name. But they went for over about an hour or so. They capped it off with just their
Meller.
top six most anticipated games.
That
for
was
next
the
year.
final thing?
Yeah.
Huh, okay.
And definitely not as high budget. They still had a bunch of graphics,
Right.
but Frankie was just on a green screen.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
floating graphic space.
Interesting.
And a lot of the stuff is stuff we saw before. It's also heavily montagey to where it was just they'd bring up footage of something we already sort of know about and just sort of tell you about a lot of games that didn't feel like it was giving a lot of new information.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, then the vibe I guess, what kind of was the point of this then?
A little bit. It feels a little bit like that. There are some reveals and some things in there that they were showing trailers for the first time, but not a whole lot of that. They had a dev interview on Kerbal Space Program 2, if you want to go back and check that out. And they were showing some new footage in there. Also, a lot of the footage itself was very compressed and grainy. And so I just found myself throughout watching the VOD and okay, I'm just going to look up this trailer because it looks awful right now and watch the original source trailer. And then Floodland was in there with an available now, and I'm why is this here?
Yeah.
If this is a 2023 preview. But anyways, there are 5 games in here that I wanted to kind of pop in and show off a little bit. I know you guys haven't had a chance to see them yet. The first one is called Shadows of Doubt. And this is one that at first I wasn't sure what to think, and then the more I got to see of it as the trailer went on, the more it was kind of hey, this could actually be pretty cool. So it's sort of like a voxel-based detective game. You're wandering around the city. You're looking at evidence. You're finding suspects. You're pulling all the clues together. They even show like the kind of the webs. The bulletin board thing that you put up all of the clues and string them together. Sneaking into places.
Yeah, this is a Max Huber game.
Yeah,
Huber's gonna love this.
Lot of rain.
Oh, of course.
So with
Yeah.
the music and everything, it gives you a lot of Blade Runner vibes. Even though I
Yep.
don't see too much futuristic.
I was just
stuff.
thinking of Hong Kong from Deus Ex.
Yeah, that too. They're like hacking into a computer. There's an old printer with like the green logo.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks interesting.
Yeah, I think it looks really cool.
The trailer I'll get to in a second, but the one thing that gave me a moment to pause was the it's a part where there's like a kind of like a fight part, and it didn't look really good. Like you're throwing punches. Like I think it's kind of no. So everything else looks really good, and it was like, I don't think I'm gonna run up and punch anyone in this game. But the premise of being able to break the rules or play by the book is kind of an interesting concept in this game. So like, how far are you going to be able to push that's always the question.
Yeah, definitely. If you can like you're saying, how far you can make things go as this detective, how in depth can you get with how you want to be, or if it's going to be like, hey, you can handle this case many different ways, kind of thing. Like you can solve it this way or that way.
Yeah, I'm very curious how open-ended it is, because it seems like the city itself has a lot going on. A lot of space
definitely seems like a lot of potential there. Yeah, curious to see more for sure.
The next one up is Level 0, which is it's a asymmetrical first-person horror game from Tiny Build. And it's 4 survivors versus 2 aliens. And you know how I was saying, like, this showcase...
2. Interesting.
Yeah, so you know how I was saying this showcase is a little bit weird in terms of, like, seeing things that, like, people have already seen. So they just had, like, a trailer a couple weeks ago that I feel like showed off the gameplay better and gave you a better perception of like what it was, whereas this one is just kind of a quick, cutting back and forth.
Yeah, it was just probably like, hey, we'll just get this trailer and this showcase real quick. Yeah, probably a lot of people didn't see it before.
But it's kind of I've got some Dead by Daylight vibes, obviously.
Oh sure, yeah.
As well as some GTFO vibes, because you're running around these labs, you're like repairing generators. You're getting key cards and equipment and stuff like that. The HUD shows your heart rate, which I'm curious.
That is interesting. Yeah, your characters.
What's that's going to be. And then Isla, you can pop on that second trailer too for them to see. One of the things, because I was wondering, because in the earlier trailer they showed like a couple of guys get taken out like right away, and I'm like, what's to stop the monster from just like
taking you out
this
super
guy
fast?
that you're seeing right away?
Yeah.
And it looks like the monsters like get hurt by light.
Okay, so that's
I was gonna say,
dark.
yeah.
It looked like they were attacking like light sources in the last one for a second. So
that's cool.
I don't know if it's like a byproduct of the damage or you answered it. It's part of the gameplay, perhaps. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's one of the things.
Ooh, there you go, like EMP.
The aliens are looking for ways to shut off light to different areas, and you're looking for your own. If you're on the human side, you're looking for light sources to burn them. Like they were like literally like catch on fire when they have light on them.
Yeah, with a game like this, to me it's going to be like, how interesting are the environments you're going through, these stages or whatever they are, how big they are, and what objectives you have to do as a survivor, I guess, would be like.
Right.
That's what I think could really separate this game. I think the light mechanic's a cool idea. Like running around in the dark and knowing some freako aliens are chasing you is really cool. But
yeah, that second when the lights turn off, I'm sure is gonna be.
Yeah, that's great. Like I love that kind of thing. But I guess I just want to see more. With I'm curious to see more. It's like, what's it like when you're actually going in there? What you're doing? How long it takes to accomplish your goal or whatever. And I would love to see what it's like playing as the alien. Stuff like that, crawling around, being a little weirdo.
Yeah. The next one, just completely unhinged. Are you guys familiar with Ace Team and Xenoclash?
Oh
no!
I feel like I know.
I feel like I've heard the name Xenoclash before, but no.
Okay, yeah, I'm not super familiar with it either. You can go ahead and start running this trailer to like. This stuff is bizarre.
Okay.
I remember like Justin Spear or Ryan Stevens or somebody being into these back in the day. But yeah, so Clash Artifacts of Chaos from Ace Team in Chile. Another game they did recently was the Eternal Cylinder.
Oh,
Remember that weird little guy
Yeah.
running around and
Yep.
like you would get mutations and he would change form and stuff.
This looks pretty good. I like this
yeah.
aesthetic. Oh yeah.
Yeah, the art style on this is
yeah, it's
really
crazy.
crazy.
Oh yeah.
It's got like a lot of cross hatching and stuff going on and different highlights and colors. But every character is just a complete weirdo.
Yeah,
These big old
this,
stretch
yeah.
faces. You've got these this woman with like 2 like main heads and then like 4 or 5 like subheads. There's this kid that you're supposed to be, I don't know, protecting or escorting or something that's like, it just looks like a ball of black feathers with like crow legs sticking out the bottom.
yeah. This is wild looking. Blood reminds me of like games on the PS1 where they just had like horrendous character designs intentionally, and that's just the vibe I get. But it is very impressive at how it actually looks. And like, I mean, get to play a weirdo alien, like that sounds cool
So
with me.
Yeah, like what's like the game? Is it beat 'em up? Oh, like kind of gut.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like God of War
melee
perspective.
combat. Yeah.
Oh. yeah, a little or.
Yeah, so it's like almost if you like thought of like an animated God of War, but like everyone is really freaky. The one
First person.
Oh yeah, there's some first person too. I think the previous Xeno games were first person.
Okay,
So the third person might be new for this one.
got it.
But the one thing that really actually stood out to me, and since you're just watching it for the first time, you're probably not hearing it. But these guys are so weird, right? And you're in this bizarre world, but their voice acting just sounds like a bunch of normal
dudes.
So it's like,
Yeah, I wonder if it was one of
juxtaposition is
those
really
things
funny.
though. If they were just like, you know, doing like voice like this for 20 hours, maybe some people get annoyed by it or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's all the budget on that that art.
Yeah,
art
all the
assets,
budget's on the art, yeah.
It sticks out more. Yeah.
Definitely.
yeah. It
Or do
definitely
they just have like
looks
normal? Or do
different,
they just
yeah.
talk like us?
Yeah, they just seem.
Hey Frank, just stuff like that. Okay, cool.
Yeah. And they fight each other.
Could add a
Normal
comedic
voices.
level.
The next one is Cygnus Enterprises. This actually hits early access in December
Okay.
16th. And they bill it as a sci-fi action RPG.
Okay.
And so think in terms of like Diablo, right? So you have,
Yes,
you have
that
some
kind
like
of- yeah.
close-up cutscene cinematic moments, but most of the game is more from an elevated perspective,
Say it.
looking down. And
Okay.
it's got a mix though of like base restoration and like city building.
Yeah,
city
it's like a
planning stuff.
crafting game almost. Reminds me of
Yeah, it's got some of that in there
Yeah.
too.
building up your fort, repairing it.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, they
Yeah, it's
show
like
you
a
building new
survival
buildings and
looking
stuff,
game.
too.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
But it's trying to blend those two things together.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you're doing that stuff, you're doing your city building stuff, but then you're also going out
Getting loot.
and killing things and getting loot. And there's some turrets they show set up on the town as well. But you're doing this all for profit.
Nice.
This is
Oh, building a little town. Yeah. Okay.
yes,
Yeah.
Cygnus Enterprises just has you there to restore these cities that have been overrun by
Mm-hmm.
alien life forms
Like
and
there's
get them making money again.
something off about this. The visuals. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I think the close-up stuff doesn't look that great, but when you see it like in the gameplay view, I feel it looks like a lot better.
Yeah.
It fits more. So I think it's just maybe one of those things where like maybe the
Yeah.
models aren't just really made for those close-ups.
Yeah, that could be it. It's probably it.
Looks interesting to me, Blood. Ever since I played Subnautica, I've come to like these games more and more. Like crafting, going out there, getting stuff coming back, building up your base.
Yeah.
Seems cool, and this has like a much more of a focus on action than most that I've played. So heck yeah, looks cool.
Absolutely. And then the last one we've got, Jump Light Odyssey.
Oh. Sounds
and
cool.
this one, this one sounds really cool to me. We have a cinematic animated trailer here.
Yeah.
And this is from League of Geeks, the same team that made Armello
Oh,
Yeah.
years back. And then they're also working on Solium Infernum or something like that. If that name's a little hard for
Yeah,
me to say.
something like that.
Anime.
But Jump Light Odyssey is so the other one is an adaptation. This one is like a new IP that they're working
Got
on.
it.
And they specifically cited 70s style
I was
Anime,
about
yeah.
to
as
say.
their
Yep.
influence.
This is very Battleship.
And so the trailer basically shows, this evil fleet destroying this planet, and then you've got the one last ship of survivors going off to this distant star to try to make a new life for themselves. And so everything I've got on this game, other than this anime trailer, is just description.
Yeah.
But it sounds essentially like a more like fleshed out and cinematic version of FTL.
Okay.
Ooh.
Damiani's interested.
All right.
Yeah. So,
All right.
I'll read through some of the email here. Take the helm of a jump-light starship as it flees its destroyed homeworld and lead your people to their salvation, the fabled Forever Star. Chart a course forward, jump to mysterious new systems, recruit crew members, and build out the ship's interior while avoiding space pirate attacks, black holes, and the relentless pursuit of Admiral Volton and the warmongering Zootopans.
Zootopans?
Yeah,
so much
the
like
names.
FTL.
The names are bonkers.
Yeah.
Like Zootopans, and it's like Princess Euphora or whatever. But it's like that's so close to Zootopia. Why would you even?
Yeah, they're doing repairs.
But yeah, some of these other aspects, though, the deeper dive, there's a pig at the end of the trailer, too, just hanging out with the rest of the crew.
There are screenshots on Steam.
Oh, nice.
So it looks, the graphic style is nice. It's like
Yeah, it's still kind of
top
cel-shaded
down,
almost. But
cel shaded, looks animated.
Oh
kinda.
yeah, I'm seeing all the.
yeah, you see it's
Resources
a
up
much
top.
bigger ship. You get a lot more going on deck by
Yeah,
deck.
I think there's more. Yeah, interactions in
managing.
between. Yeah,
Looks
Cool.
cool.
a little
Yes.
bit more management heavy, I think.
Yeah, they talk about, so the crew, they say,
Nephilim.
observe deep social interactions as quirky crew members interact with their friends, lovers, and rivals on a daily basis. Witness meaningful emergent moments as relationships develop, tragedy strike, and danger awaits. And then they also said that ship can be outfitted with utilities, luxuries, defenses, and resource production chains.
Luxuries.
So you can build hot tubs, Damiani,
Of course.
to de-stress and generate camaraderie among crewmates. And then there's also, they showed in the screenshots the farming, and then electrical storm strike, fires rage, hull breaches, all that good stuff.
Hole breaches.
Looks cool.
Yep. Wonder. Yeah, it looked more involved. So simply like opening all the doors to vent out the atmosphere to put out fires probably won't be as viable this time around. You kill all those plants and yeah.
I'm curious what the combat and the away missions are like too.
Yeah.
Whether you'll see an away mission or not.
Yeah, because FTL is just like text. It's just like you clicked on choose your own adventure. You click that. Well, you lived or died. Cool,
Yeah.
and move along. But I don't know. That's also could go both ways. FTLs has a lot of depth, but I think it aims for a little bit more simplistic approach. It's just the RNG factors that are thrown at you can just make it chaotic. This looks when I said sim heavy, it looks like there's more like things
Managing
to
your crew.
like crew management, and I don't know, like this to me runs the risk of becoming too tedious, where I feel like FTL just cut to the chase and gave you what you want, and if you want that type of experience, this is going like maybe in a different direction. So
Yeah.
but it has potential. I definitely looks
This feels
pretty-
like a longer run kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's still
it-
roguelite, still run based, still about
Okay.
learning from one run to the next.
So that's
yeah.
the thing. Like FTL, it's like not. I mean, it can actually take like about an hour sometimes for a run, but that's kind of the thing. It like it's quick. You get through it and you make you build towards progress. That's what I'm curious. If this FTL, you unlock different ships that you can use on different runs, but you're not really. There's no economy to buy upgrades like every other roguelite is doing right now. So I wonder if they're going to have some aspect of that, because
Right.
maybe whatever your first run fails, you bring back like space ore, and now you can like outfit your ship with a permanent like health, like shield boost or speed boost or something like that. So that would be a nice thing to add that FTL doesn't have that I'd like to see.
I'm curious too whether like these characters are individuals that you might get to know their quirks. Like this guy might be a bit more of a hothead, or this person might always like that person, or if it's really just about proximity and they're just kind of like generated each time around.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely curious about that.
One of the things they talk about here with morale is every broken promise runs the risk of dwindling hope and creating a mutinous broken crew.
Whoa, cool.
So you can have mutiny if you aren't doing a good job.
Is there like this type of game or FTL like game for like pirate ships, like pirateers? I kind of want that. I kind of actually want that a lot.
Skull and Bones, baby. Closest you're gonna get.
Skull and Bones, please.
Yeah. It's fun stuff. I think that's the one
Yeah, that game looks cool.
most excited about out of all the PC gaming stuff.
And the first one.
Yeah. Oh, the first one, the Shadows It Out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the detective one. Good stuff. All right, this week, Game Awards nominees are out.
Yep.
Oh.
Keely made the announcements. So we can't share our picks, our votes, or our nominees, but we can talk about what's in here. We can talk about what stands out. Just before I go down category by category, what top level, what things do you think your just general reactions to the nominee list, the aggregate?
Oh, what I think of them?
Yeah.
Pretty good. Confusion on some things. I'm just like, huh? But some of the things I haven't played yet, I saw in there.
Right.
Like Stray, I haven't played yet, so I don't know.
Dummy,
I was surprised to see it, but like I haven't played it. It could be awesome, so I don't know.
Yeah, definitely confusion at a certain thing. Like further clarification on something, but sure. I really enjoyed Stray, but I didn't think it would have, with how many critics or outlets are part of this committee, that would have that type of support to break into like the actual Game of the Year nominees. And I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty interesting to see that there. But yeah, like some surprises there. But a lot of the usual things as expected were there as well.
Right.
So it was more Stray and what else? Not a Plague Tale. What was the other thing that made the list on Game of the Year?
Xenoblade.
That's not too big of a surprise for me. Maybe it was Plague Tale being on there.
Yeah.
Horizon.
Horizon.
He's gonna read them in a second.
Yeah, sorry. But anyway, I thought there were like 2 surprises on that list, but otherwise everything else were kind of was kind of expected.
Kind of expected.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think just sort of in general, like when I saw, there's like a lot of comments of like, oh, these are sort of like the boring AAA picks or whatever, but it's so hard because it's like you're talking about a bunch of blind votes coming together.
Yeah.
And it's like if you're not getting in a room with people
and talking about
I don't know how that would be possible. It's like you're going to get editors in chief from all of these different outlets together somehow.
I hate to say it, but it's like when you're picking the people who also like do all the reviews throughout the year, you just literally look at OpenCritic or Metacritic, and you can kind of guess what is going to be on those lists, very close. That's why I said like 2 of them were like kind of a surprise, but in general, they all kind of like fit the billing. And it's when we can't interact with each other outside of our organization, it's like there's no like persuasion or arguing or challenging anyone on something. So it's just going to be the same things that they've like look at their output through the year, what they've been saying, and like very much is going to stick to that with some variance here and there.
Yeah. And I'm curious, one of the things that really popped up was Sifu ending up in Best Fighting Game.
Yes.
That's
that is
biggest,
bizarre.
weirdest things.
That is bizarre.
So that
I don't.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I just don't know. Like, I don't know what the deal is, but whoever's in charge, whatever's in charge, they should have made a decision. Just be like, this is not a fighting game.
Right.
We're not going to put it in here.
Because it's like in this vague sense of like you fight in it.
Yeah, but it's like you fight in so many games.
It's a genre, yeah.
It's like
Shredder's Revenge.
Is that a fighting game?
That's like every beat 'em up's a fighting game. I mean,
and I think the category said something specifically about head to head or something like that too.
The description, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like you're not fighting other players in that.
If you don't have some kind of versus mode, you're not a fighting game. I'm sorry. Like I will not budge from that. Like that's like the defining
or even if it's like you just
characteristic.
had an arcade mode, like if it was just like Street Fighter 6, but for some reason you couldn't start on player 2, it would probably still be qualified as a fighting game.
Sure, if you like 1v1
but this is
or
just
something.
not even that. It's not even that setup.
It's not even like you don't even have that benefit of the doubt. So, and they're I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know why
that's
it's there.
that's one of the big confusion things for me. And then being in two categories.
Right.
Like,
If
what?
it's a genre, then why is it in two genres? Yeah.
Then why aren't more games in two genres? Because there's clearly a bunch of games that fit more in one genre. But sure, okay, I'm just, a little confused.
I think Triangle Strategy got nominated for Best RPG.
It's an RPG instead of strategy, and that's one where like I can see why, but I don't agree with it.
I would say it's more strategy.
Yeah.
I would
call
put
it Triangle
Strategy. Yes.
Literally SRPG.
Strategy comes first, yes, and strategy RPG.
And it's just one of those things that it feels like, just any kind of
like
Japanese style strategy game.
I understand.
Because
I guess
RPG elements, it's going to be put in RPG.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can understand their logic, but to me, it's more of a strategy game. It sounds like it is to everyone else too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't just seafood. I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
But that's the thing I wonder about though, because when I gather our votes and submit them, I have to like make those calls of like, okay, well you put this in action and it's probably gonna be under action adventure, so I kind of like try to like figure out like okay, move them around and then like how does it shake out? But then I don't know on the high level like what's happening on Jeff's side of things. But like, is Jeff just the one tallying all the rest of those, or does he have like a team of people that he gives some rules to or whatever? And it's like, if for some reason like 80 out of 100 outlets put Sifu under fighting game, you have to wonder like, okay, like am I in the position to tell 80 people that they're all wrong?
I would if I was him, because I'd just be like, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Like if whoever's in charge that needs to make that call. If you're in charge, you have to make calls like that.
Well, but also, unless those 80 outlets started talking to each other, like we said, we don't do, like, they would never know. So they could just make that call, and no one would ever know.
Yeah. So it's wild.
Yeah.
But let's go through the categories, and, I'll read through a category. If you want to say anything, we can. If not, we'll go to the next one. Game of the Year, the big boy. Plague Tale, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon, Stray, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Right. From what I've heard, it just seems like Stray is the odd one.
Stray seems like the odd one. Plague Tale maybe, but there's so much like momentum behind the first game that I'm not too surprised.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, Stray sticks out for like making it that high when there's some other games that I think several people thought would probably like easily make it in over that.
Right.
And then even like Plague Tale, I've seen like enough like back and forth that the other three nominees really didn't have that consistently. I mean, even kind of like the kind of like discussions about Xenoblade 3, generally people feel it falls like in a very like high level. It's there, so it felt like appropriate to be there. But I mean, it felt of all that list, it does feel like God of War and Elden Ring were like the most like lock-ins for that from everything, and everything else was just like who are the other three that are gonna like get in there. And it didn't disappoint a little bit there. I mean, I felt like Horizon was kind of an obvious pick to be in there, but getting two surprises, I mean, it's nice to be surprised sometimes. I mean, last year the outright winner was a freaking surprise. Like, did not expect that to win outright. It Takes Two, but we shall see. I don't think there'll be a repeat of that this year, but all I can say is that because each Game of the Year nominee gets to have a song played from the Keeley Orchestra, we get to hear Xenoblade music. And
this
Keeley
medley is going to be so good.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
I fully support Keeley going full meme and interrupting, like, let a full song of a previous one play, but then like have it loop and like, oh, they're gonna keep playing it, and then interrupt it with Chain Attack from Xenoblade 3, because that's like the perfect thing to do, the perfect way to do it, because that song always interrupts every song in Xenoblade 3.
Yeah, I think the thing also, like what we're talking about with things like the blind voting and the things that surprise or not surprise, it's been such a strong year for smaller games and indie games that I think it's hard for everybody to be on the same page, because like one game will like really hit with one circle and another, and then like they'll share it with their friends. And then this other game, like you guys are just now getting into Vampire Survivors, and a lot of people are like, where the heck's Vampire Survivors on this? Everyone was playing that in January. And it's like they were. I'm like, I missed it until now.
It was early because it actually came out now,
right?
At 1.0, but it's like no Rogue Legacy 2. Like Sifu is nominated for stuff, but from what I've played, Sifu is excellent. It's just like, damn, there's a lot of games like Cult of the Lamb people really like.
Right.
Lots
Right.
of good stuff this year. Tunic, lots.
Yeah.
No Signalis.
No
hurts?
Signalis.
Yeah. And that's the thing too that's a little weird is the timing on when things come
Yes.
in, because it's like, okay, that cutoff is the middle of November,
Yes.
but then there's obviously there's going to be games that come after that will be eligible for next year. And this year, like the two big ones that they reminded us of were Final Fantasy 14 and
Halo?
Halo Infinite.
Yeah.
Which Halo's had enough issues.
Right, yeah.
That it's not too surprising it didn't show up on there. But it's like, how much of that was it not showing up because of its issues, and how much of that was it not showing up because people had moved on.
Yeah, there's always that.
But then there's this other weird window of the early November games like Signalis, where it's like, it's eligible, Pokemon is eligible, but it's like there's a very select group of people that got to play Pokemon Advance.
Those games, yeah.
And something like Signalis, like, people could have played it, but so many people were playing other things in the middle of October, November, that maybe they'll get to Signalis in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But yeah, game direction is almost a copy paste. Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon, Immortality, and Stray.
Nice.
Yeah, I know Immortality is one I gotta catch up on for sure.
I was very happy to see that in game direction and narrative, which we'll talk about. But Immortality it's just very unique, and the way that it does a lot of stuff and the way that it reveals certain things to you, it's really cool. And there aren't a lot of games like it. Even his other games aren't really
Oh, nice.
like this one. So it was
That's
very
cool.
nice. I'm glad that it made it up there. I think like if enough people played it, it could have a shot at winning one of those, but I kind of doubt it. But who knows?
Narrative, mix it a little bit, but a lot of those same group. Plague Tale, Elden Ring, God of War, Horizon, Immortality.
Yeah, a lot of people upset about Elden Ring on there.
Yeah, we got a question about it later, so we'll dig into the
Yeah.
question.
Okay.
We'll hold. I'll hold.
I'm ready.
We're gonna
Yeah,
talk
I'm
about
ready.
that? We're getting
Yeah,
into that?
We're gonna get into
I'm
that.
ready.
All right.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Hold.
Art direction. This is one that I saw people bringing up because the indie space is so crazy this year. Elden Ring, God of War, Horizon, Scorn, and Stray. Which maybe there's some better
Yeah.
picks for art direction.
Yeah.
Yes.
The art direction was like my main complaint of Scorn, but I only played that demo, so who knows? Everything just blended into each other.
Right. Yeah, it's like it's cool to look at, but not so great from a gameplay design
Yeah.
perspective.
It's like H.R. Giger is great, but if I can't tell what things are interactable or not,
Yeah. Yeah, and then like off the top of my head, like I don't know like what else I would have thrown in there. It just feels like a lot of those games are not really doing that much, but maybe.
I think there's some really great art in those games.
Yeah.
Really good art. But I mean, I just think about stuff that's set on my mind. Like Tunic pops in my mind of art from this year. It's like maybe not as impressive, I guess, but it still like looks really great to me. And
But that manual.
that manual's great. Yeah, that's part of the game.
Well, it
Yeah.
sounds like they actually like printed one out and then scanned it in.
It's like
for
one of my favorite
peak
looking
authenticity.
games of this year, for sure.
Yeah. Score and music, I gotta say this one's pretty solid for me. I need to listen to a lot more stuff, but A Plague Tale, Elden Ring, God of War, Metal Hellsinger.
Yeah.
Great freaking
Great pick.
to throw in there, and then Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Seems pretty good.
Yeah.
Seems pretty solid.
Rogue Legacy 2 could have gone here too, but I don't know what you would bump for that.
Yeah, he was in championing that Rogue Legacy 2
soundtrack.
soundtrack for sure.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Definitely good.
I have another, like, one of two things happened. I mean, you said at the top, I forgot that it was, like, eligible, but yeah, probably fell victim to everyone forgot about it, but, like, I don't understand how you could have this category and not have Endwalker's soundtrack in there.
Right.
But maybe they just meant Final Fantasy 14 as a whole is eligible, and for, like,
No, they said Endwalker.
so
sure,
then everyone
specifically.
forgot,
Everyone
and
forgot.
Yeah.
as
Everyone forgot
happy as
100%.
I am that Xenoblade makes it in, because there's been JRPGs in the past have like not always gotten a fair shake in this category. and I know a lot of people are very high on Xenoblade's soundtrack, it is a travesty that it's like I can't take this category seriously.
Yeah.
I can't take it seriously.
It's 100% everyone forgot.
Like a lot of years this category, I look at it and there's this glaring omission. I'm like, sorry, this is a meme.
Well, you forget, Damiani, that the Game Awards are populist. You know, it's just what
I do
the
think
most people have done. So it's a niche. It's a niche thing, and
I think
niche
that
enough
does play
that
into it in that case.
But I think like the Zeitgeist Renwalker was a year ago.
It was a
now,
year
so
ago.
people just forgot.
For most people, that game came out last year.
Everyone who was
possibly,
playing it was
yeah.
like going, "Oh my god, the story! Oh my god, the music and stuff!" And like, I think they just forgot.
Yep.
I think they just forgot. And it's
That's
fine.
the unfortunate truth of coming out at a weird time.
It's all right.
they had to stop selling
It
that
won our-
game.
it won-
Remember
Yeah,
that.
well, for they did fine. They're doing fine.
It won our soundtrack of the year.
It did.
It's cool.
It did win ours. As it should have.
We atoned.
Best audio design.
Mm-hmm.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2,
Sure.
which you've been playing a little bit of. Elden Ring.
Yep.
God of War.
Yep.
Gran Turismo 7.
Ooh.
And Horizon Forbidden West.
Mm-hmm.
This is one where I thought Halo could have gotten.
Oh,
a nod.
sure,
And,
yeah.
You know, for all of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
issues, the Halo audio
Sure,
design
yeah.
is pretty good.
Yeah, totally. Just a lot of competition.
Yeah.
And like we said, probably a product of
trying to-
last year.
For this category specifically, the further away it's been, it's probably less chance you're getting it. It's just, I don't know. I feel like audio design's like one of the harder categories for a lot of people, I think, to like judge and like properly nominate. That's why I actually appreciate a lot of developers / publishers putting out like behind the scenes videos that sometimes show what they do to do like the
yeah,
audio
I love
work.
stuff like that.
The Horizon is a
Yeah.
great example of that. I was in the GDC talk for the first Horizon game, and that stuff is nuts.
Oh yeah, I bet.
The I don't remember it all, but it go back and watch that because I think it is on YouTube now.
Oh sweet.
And yeah, the stuff that they have to do with like positioning the sound sources on the creatures and everything,
Mm-hmm.
just
I wonder if
really
the
cool.
Game Awards will ever get so popular and important enough to developers that they'll do what movies do for like for the Academy Awards, which obviously has its problems, but like they'll go to something that's colloquially called a bake-off, where they like have little pre-prepared like clips
Oh,
that
sure.
they'll play, and they'll be like, here's the audio design of this thing, and like they'll run through everything that they that's submitted or that has a shot at it, and it just kind of reminds everybody. I wouldn't be surprised if Game Awards gets popular enough that we would start getting emails from PR companies like
I mean that's the flood I had to manage. I got a lot of people sending stuff for consideration for sure. But yeah, like little
But I mean, like
dev diary things like that.
little
no,
dev diary
yeah.
vignettes aimed specifically at us, the jury.
Right. Which I'm still not sure I understand the jury versus judges.
Wait, are we judges
distinction.
or jury?
We're jury.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we also
Who's the
vote on
executioner?
who wins?
Yeah, that's
Right?
That's what we do as the jury.
We passed the verdict.
Yeah. Performance, Ashley Birch in Horizon, Charlotte McBurney in A Plague Tale, Christopher Judge in God of War, Men Engaged in Immortality, and Sunny Suljic for God of War as well.
Yeah.
This is one where I feel like a lot of people kind of get skimmed over for whatever
Yeah.
the biggest names
sure.
might be. But
It's
Sure,
nice
yeah.
to see Manon Gage in there.
Yes.
Like Immortality getting a nod for this is pretty cool.
I think Plague Tale is another one too. Where
Yeah,
it's nice to
yeah,
see
yeah, yeah.
someone in there. Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, so many other great performances this year that aren't in here.
Games for Impact is one I had a hard time with this year. So the nominees are Memoir Blue, As Dusk Falls, Citizen Sleeper, Endling Extinction is Forever, which was like the concept was so depressing to me. I'm like, I'm not playing that game. Hindsight, and I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. So I don't know.
We were joking that some of these feel like nobody could think of what to submit for this year. Because some years it's like,
Yeah.
this game obviously is trying a thing
I think
and it's
Before
trying
Your
to
Eyes
say
was in there
something.
last year.
Yeah. Like this is like obvious. But some of these are like, this game just has a story? That's why it's here? Like what happened?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Best ongoing game, The Usual Suspects, Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and Genshin Impact. Genshin hanging in there.
Genshin's very popular.
You get like
Yeah.
got a big update this year. I think.
Yep, believe so.
Best indie, which we've been talking about on our
Yeah,
streams
oh man,
lately.
yeah, that's
There
our
we
own
go.
thing.
Cult of the Lamb, Neon White, Sifu, Stray, and Tunic.
Pretty strong games in there.
Yeah.
Good.
I was hoping to see Rogue Legacy 2.
Yeah.
But alas.
Yeah, there's a
But
lot-
these games used money to be created, right? So those aren't indie.
Oh my
they
god.
don't count as indie.
I don't have any specific issues with any of these being qualified as indie. I still don't really understand like the Devolver Annapurna thing, but generally they're considered indie, no matter that weird
Yeah.
relationship. But
It's a loose term nowadays.
yeah. And then debut indie game, which is from people that haven't had a game out before, or specifically new studios.
Yeah, because like some of these are a little weird because
Yeah.
it's like Neon White. Like Ben Esposito's put out games before. Like
Absolutely.
I don't know, just not under this studio name. So whatever.
But yeah, Neon White, Norco, Stray, Tunic again, and Vampire Survivors.
There it is.
Vampire
There it
Survivors
is.
got its nod there.
It did, yeah.
Yeah, and Tunic is like, yeah, it's that guy's just been working on that game forever.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to see it getting those nods.
Yeah, that is nice.
And then community support, which I don't understand why it's not just put in the ongoing game.
Yeah.
That's true.
Almost
It
the
should
same
just-
list.
Yeah, it should just go the same.
Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and then No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
Slipping in there.
Yeah.
Mobile game is Apex Legends Mobile, Diablo Immortal, Genshin Impact, Marvel Snap
Oh,
Yes.
came out in time to
Heard
get on the
about
list,
many good things
Everyone
about that
talking
game.
about
Yeah.
that one.
and Tower of Fantasy.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds like a good lineup there.
Yeah, actually, I think that's pretty good mix up there. And then VR AR After the Fall, Among Us VR, which just came out. Bone Lab, Moss Book 2, which I got to play
Yeah.
that one, and then Red Matter 2.
Nice.
But yeah, I think we just haven't been
That'll be
that
interest-
on the
Yeah,
beat
that'll
with
be an
VR
interesting
this year.
category next year with PSVR R2 out.
Yeah. Also confusing because how many games are going to like show up and they're like, is this a new game or was this already on
Yes.
PC?
Yes.
All right, now into genres.
Everyone's
Action.
favorite.
Bayonetta 3
Yeah.
got a nom.
Yeah.
Modern Warfare 2, Neon White got a nom. Sifu, and then Shredder's Revenge.
Yeah, cool.
Very happy to see you.
Very cool. Yeah. That game's awesome. Coolest right there. I like that.
Action Adventure, which I know you have a hard time, but I think when you hear the games, you might see the difference. Plague Tale Requiem, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, and Tunic.
Yeah, I guess.
It's so weird.
Yeah, I
It's so weird.
always ask blood every time. I have blood check.
It's like Bayonetta versus God of War is like a weird one to me.
Not
kinda.
to me. With the newer God of Wars, it's not as analogous anymore. But God of War is probably the one that's probably the one that could slip between the two categories the easiest. The
Yeah.
other ones feel like they are different enough from the games listed in action. To
right.
me, at
It's like
least.
Stray's not about combat, right?
Yeah, you don't fight in that game.
Why not just call it Best Adventure though?
Right.
To them, that's
Like,
like
why
point and
not?
click or story driven. Like no, like you don't do action.
I guess.
They're going.
Well,
with
I mean, I think they're thinking, you go back to like a point and click adventure or
that's
something like
the-
that, right?
Yeah, that's the classical definition.
Oddly enough, doesn't have anywhere to be in these genres.
Yeah, that's why. It's like that adventure, action, adventure.
But yeah, I would say make it best adventure and then include stuff like Monkey Island in there.
There you go. Yeah.
Or like, then why? Like then you need a best role playing game and best action role playing game. Like like why did these
Yes,
get
that's why it's
specific splits
confusing.
and nothing else does?
Right. Yeah, I think when you look at something like a Zelda or a Metroid, which would normally go in there, but then it's like you look at Assassin's Creed,
Yeah.
or even you look at God of War. With as much like
Right.
gear and stat boosting
Yeah.
and stuff you do in there, it's like okay,
Yeah.
like how
There's a
far
talent
away
tree.
is that from an action RPG?
Yeah, there's a talent tree. You're getting experience points. You're crafting gear.
But that's in everything now.
Yep. That's why it's confusing often.
Best role playing game. Elden Ring, Live Alive, Brad.
Yeah, that game's cool.
Got in there. Finally made it to
Hell yeah.
North America and got a
Yeah.
nod.
Yeah, wow.
Pokemon Legends Arceus, Triangle Strategy,
Nice.
and Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Nice. Big for Nintendo.
But then I'm going to jump to Sim Strategy because when you look at Triangle Strategy not being in there, and then you look at what is in there, I'm just like, oh, okay. Sim Strategy, Dune Spice Wars, which I think is still in early access. I don't think that's like actually hit 1.0 yet. Mario plus Rabbids, that doesn't disqualify it. They said it's okay if it's been significant
Wait, Mario
enough.
plus Rabbids?
Are you talking about Dune
No,
Spice?
for Dune, like an early access game.
Oh, no. In the strategy, though.
Oh, yeah, Mario plus Rabbids.
Right, the fact that Mario plus Rabbids is in strategy
But
and
Triangle
Triangle
Strategy's not?
isn't is so weird.
Yeah.
That's very
Like,
weird.
yes, there's
Keely!
like there's way more story in Triangle Strategy.
You know what? I
like
mean,
hours of it.
It does have
but-
RPG. Yeah, it is like strategy RPG in Mario plus Rabbids, but like the overworld part could just be action adventure game. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and there aren't like 6 hours of cutscenes before you actually do a battle in
That's true.
Mario. So
Yeah, that's true.
Total War Warhammer 3.
Nice.
Which those have definitely been
Excellent.
pretty good. 2 Point Campus.
Okay.
And then
yeah, it's cute.
Victoria 3, which I know nothing about. So it's like, that's
I think
why.
it's like Crusader Kings, but let me check.
I would say I've heard of Crusader Kings. I don't know Victoria.
But I was like, no power wash? Where's the sim side of things? Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my god! Forgot about that game.
No power wash for Dominic.
Damn.
Yeah.
Forgot about that game. Did it come out this year or was that last year?
It came out officially this year. It was in early access last year.
Okay, so it could have been eligible.
So that's the
last year.
thing. I think the zeitgeist hit when it was early access.
Yes.
And then not as many people were paying attention
There
when it
we
hit
go.
full 1.0.
Yeah, it's by Paradox, so it's like a grand strategy game.
Mm-hmm. Best fighting game. We already talked about the Ugly Duckling here.
Right.
But we got DNF Duel, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, All-Star Battle R, King of Fighters 15, Multiverses,
Nice.
Sifu.
Kind of a weird
weird
year
year.
for fighting games, I guess.
But I feel like almost every year is a weird year for fighting games.
I guess so,
It's
but
like there's just enough of the genre to like make a category every year.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the problem.
I guess you're
There's-
right.
There's always like 3, and then they're just like
next year
throw 2
could
more
be
in there.
sick. Next year could be good.
Yeah. Street Fighter. There's something else coming out next year too. Right?
Probably like 3 why can't I think of their name? Fighters devs. Dragon Ball Fighters devs. Why can't Arc System Works.
Oh,
Probably
yeah.
like 3 Arc System Work games. Maybe whatever NetherRealm's next game is.
Yeah, that could happen.
Tekken 8 maybe.
Oh,
maybe.
Right.
Could be a stacked year next year.
The Riot fighting game, maybe. Someday.
Yeah, Project L. Maybe.
Family game, Kirby in there, Lego Star Wars, Mario plus Rabbids is in there too, Nintendo Switch Sports, and Splatoon 3.
Yeah, you had a problem with Splatoon 3.
Yeah, it's not, like when I think family game, it's like, it's not just kid friendly. It's like, it's a
Yeah.
game that you would play with your family. And so like Switch Sports, even though it's like not the best game, makes sense for me for it to be there.
Yeah.
But
Well, I guess
Kirby makes sense for it to be there. Lego Star Wars, like you would play with your kids, or you'd have your kids play together. But like, I don't know.
This
Mario and Rabbids and Splatoon just feel a little weird.
This kind of stuff though is where
Yeah,
where Game Awards and Game of the Year awards stuff in general gets weird when you have to have a specific number, because it's like Nintendo Switch Sports was not very good, but it's just
correct.
big. It sold it like everyone's heard of it, so it gets a nomination, but it's like a bad game.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I don't know, it's weird.
Mario Rabbids doesn't even have the co-op from the first one. They ditched all multiplayer. Maybe they'll add it in at some point, but
Right.
it doesn't even have the co-op aspect. But I mean, it was on the list. Like, there's no Pokemon Legends Arceus isn't on there, which might be. It also wasn't eligible last year, but for this year is Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl.
Right.
Which those types parents definitely play with their kids with those. Each one gets a version, trade, and stuff like that. I think there were some like other options there that maybe some of those didn't make sense, but again, some of those came out
Yeah.
I feel like it's just a Nintendo category most of the
Yeah.
year.
Was Mario Party on there?
No, I think it was last year.
Yeah,
that was
Super
last
Mario
year.
Bros. Was last
Yeah,
year.
yeah, yeah,
But that's the
Mario
kind of thing.
Party was,
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
like couch co-op
Yeah,
games.
playing-
You
Oh man, Turtles should have been on that list.
Yes.
Turtles would have been great.
Turtles should have been on that list.
This game's
for sure.
too violent. Just
That's,
kidding.
No.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Allusion to when they had to get rid of the real weapons in Ninja Turtles 2, the movie.
Oh, my
Yeah,
gosh.
Turtles should have replaced one of those Nintendo games for sure.
Splatoon.
Yeah. Sports and racing game, F1 22, FIFA 23, NBA 2K 23, Gran Turismo 7, and Ollie Ollie World got in there.
There
I
you
played
go.
2 of those, and they were both good.
Ollie Ollie World. I like that game.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Yeah, F1 has been really good.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
I'm glad to see that on there. And kind of glad to see the Grid Legends isn't on there.
Yeah.
Game's all right, but it wasn't grabbing me. I put a couple hours into it and stuff. I'm just like, it's fine, but it just feels just really familiar to anyone that's played past Grid games.
Horizon get nominated last year?
Yeah.
Okay. I couldn't remember if
this
it
year
came
had
out
the
in
Hot
time or
Wheels
not.
expansion.
Okay, I couldn't remember if it came out after the deadline or not.
Multiplayer game, Call of Duty, Multiverses, Overwatch 2, Splatoon 3, and Turtles Get in here on multiplayer.
Great multiplayer game.
Which Call of Duty?
Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah, so
the newest one.
Not Warzone 2, right?
Right.
That just came out,
Okay.
Yeah.
like today or something, or yesterday.
I didn't know which
Yes.
one it was. Yeah.
Well, it was this week. I don't remember exactly
Yeah,
which.
something like that.
Yep. And most anticipated game,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 16, Hogwarts Legacy, Resident Evil 4, Starfield, and The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
So yeah, I just gotta say that there's probably 2 games they probably either they ruled they were not sufficient enough to be classified as next year,
Oh, that makes sense.
or yeah, I don't know what's going on. Spider-Man 2, which is like what? Like, okay, that's not on the list there. And then the only other way I could see it, because people don't think it's next year, would be like Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, because
We don't know.
Some
Yeah.
calendar it says just winter.
Yeah.
But
but
most anticipated doesn't necessarily mean next year.
Yeah, it seems like, or maybe just
yeah, I thought most
People didn't
anticipated,
vote for
I thought it
it. I
meant
don't
like
know.
2023, but like yeah, then now that I think about it, there was no year restriction on it, was it?
Not that I can remember.
So yeah, I don't know what's
But
up.
could you put Elder Scrolls 6 on there then?
Sure.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say it feels a little weird that Hogwarts got on there over some other stuff. That's just me.
Yeah.
Didn't feel right, but that's cool.
No Silk Song. People are upset about that.
Yes, like Silk Song. Like
Well, Silk Song I've tried to forget about until it just
Yeah.
comes
The
out.
only thing I can think of is
But it definitely
it
fits.
boils down
Yes, it
to
does.
maybe, but they've shown so much of Hogwarts.
I can definitely see Wolverine and Spider-Man canceling each other out.
Sure.
Yeah, it's like, do things are more of a known quantity not getting like Street Fighter 6? Like it's already had like a playable beta, so like now it's not as anticipated because you got your
Right,
hands
sure.
on it. Spider-Man 2, oh, it's just gonna be more Spider-Man 1. Like, well then why are you saying that about the Tears of the Kingdom? It's like I don't know.
I guess it's just people
Yeah.
are more excited about other games than those. That's all it is.
The category descriptions are so funny. The anticipated game one is recognizing an announced game that has demonstrably illustrated potential to push the gaming medium forward.
So
It's like
Nobody's thinking about it that
that
hard.
like
Yeah.
what?
none of these do that.
I
Like
mean,
I don't know.
yeah.
What is that,
Tears of the
Kojima
Kingdom
game?
might.
I guess
like,
I'm just trying to say I don't want to live in a
Starfield
world.
might.
I don't want to live in a world
Yeah,
where
no, it
Hogwarts is
won't.
over Rebirth. That's all.
Did you see those dialogue scenes, Bloodworth? They're just doing the same shit over and over again.
Starfield? Yeah. I don't know.
All right. Well, that's the Game Awards for you. We will be reacting live to that when they come up in December. Yeah,
We'll see.
see how it turns out. Next up in Embracer news,
Oh, great.
Oh, I need a lighting cue for this. I was just kidding. But
Oh,
here.
okay.
Okay.
I was waiting for something.
Here, I'll use the betting one.
Embracer had a quarterly earnings report.
Oh, okay. I know what's up.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they are taking Saints Row developer Volition. They're taking them from the PlayOn group, which was originally Koch Media, and then they're putting them into Gearbox now, shifting them over to someplace they think they might
help
get a little more support.
With Borderlands
The Gearbox.
or the Gearbox. Yeah.
Well, they'll probably still make Saints Row, but
I know,
like,
but
they'll
Gearbox will be with them.
Gearbox will be in charge of them.
I just want
essentially,
Gearbox
yeah.
writing in Saints
That's
Row.
what it's going to be.
All right.
But so from CEO Lars Wingefors, the reception of Saints Row did not meet the full expectations and left the fan base partially polarized.
Partially.
harsh.
Yeah.
Partially polarized?
I don't know how you get partially.
Oh,
Yeah, how do you partially polarize? That's the whole point of that word.
He said he was personally disappointed. It sounds like he was expecting like a big comeback for the franchise.
Definitely.
He said he did note that the Volition has been working hard to improve the player experience. They just put out a big patch with like over 200 fixes.
Yep.
They said financially, Saints Row has performed in line with management expectations for the quarter. Would it have as great a return on investment as we've seen in many other games? Not very likely. But we will make money, and that's a good starting point at least.
I guess, yeah.
Must be nice.
Yeah.
And then he says that this is the first time that they've done this kind of move, transferring a studio from one group to another. But it's not necessarily the last.
Nope. Sure, probably ain't.
I just want to be in that meeting where they decided this. Like, what was the rationale for like, we're gonna put you with Gearbox?
They were probably like, people hated the writing in Saints Row, and people like Borderlands. Put them together. That's probably it. I guarantee it. The writing, a big part of that was the writing.
I was just joking. I didn't know if like the Saints Row had more problems than just the writing.
Oh, it had plenty of problems, of tech problems, but
So, like,
it got
is there anything, like-
panned hard for the writing.
Yeah, is there anything
It was
like,
bad.
Gearbox could like offer to the system, like tech
Maybe.
wise or
Yeah,
something?
maybe.
I don't know.
Sure, I'm sure.
Yeah, what he mentioned here was Gearbox has all the tools, including an experienced management team in the U.S. to create future success at Volition. So I don't know if they thought
That's like a very generic
Yeah.
statement.
maybe they
Yeah.
just didn't have the oversight that they needed, being in a different continent. Or
Yeah, so now they're moving from the Austin, Texas now, or Dallas, Texas. Sorry, Dallas. Yeah.
I don't know, wild thing. I guess we'll see. Because it's a franchise they want to be strong, definitely.
But you think the
Yes.
the zaniness definitely goes together. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Like, I do not like Borderlands writing, but Saints Row, this one I played, was worse.
Oh, yikes!
I was just like, oh, God, who's writing this? People are getting paid to write that blood. Oh.
Do you think that they'll have any hand in Borderlands stuff, or they just?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah, I think it's the other way around. They don't get to ever.
Yeah,
touch
I don't
anything
know.
Borderlands,
Borderlands
so they
seems fine, I guess,
Yeah,
financially
I don't
for
think
them.
that happens.
Yeah, I think Gearbox will just continue as usual.
Yeah.
customizable characters or anything like that.
That could be something, Blood, in the future. Yeah, maybe. An open world Borderlands game they'll have them make. I don't know. But yeah, they could help for sure.
Friends, we've got more news to come. But if you've been enjoying this show so far, please take a second to like and subscribe and ring that bell on YouTube. It helps us and it helps you stay connected. All right, NPD time.
Yeah.
Always bummed when Huber doesn't make it. So again, he's at home. He's watching X-Files, sick in bed. But we're still going to go over some numbers. Interesting month for sure. Overall, spending is flat year on year.
Dang.
But
All those games that came out too in October.
yeah, they're saying there was growth in sales for games and growth in subs, but hardware and mobile dropped. So it balanced out.
Okay.
Hardware is down 10% from last year. And again, this is like a weird thing. There's double-digit growth for both PS5 and Series X, but the last-gen machines declined faster than expected.
Yeah, definitely.
So people they're ready. They're starting
done.
to move on.
Yeah.
We don't need PS4 anymore. Not going to buy a cheap PS4 for Christmas.
Yeah,
Save
yeah.
up and get a PS5.
Yeah.
PS5 topped it on both dollar and unit sales. Xbox in second. Switch in third.
Wow.
It begins.
Yeah, it's
I told you
begun.
last month here the trend begins.
The Switch
begun.
Steam starting to fall away.
Yeah.
Pokemon will probably prop it up this
Oh
month.
my God,
Yeah.
yeah. It'll probably go whoop.
Sales wise, yeah. I think the game might be making an argument about maybe it might be time to move on to some new hardware.
Finally.
Nintendo, please, please.
As Digital Foundry noted, that game's issues are not about the Switch. There's
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
there's some There's some mess going on in that
Game
Pokemon
Freak
game.
stank on it.
Yeah, also might be this is a straight byproduct of that game was Rush.
They don't try because they don't have to.
That's true.
Pokemon
Well,
just prints money no matter what.
That's true.
I think what people are feeling is that they are just not given enough time.
Yeah,
Arceus just
probably
came out
not, yeah.
earlier
I know it's
this
different
year.
teams with internally, but like, yeah, Arceus came out earlier this year. That should have bought them more time to work on this.
Been a full year yet.
I don't feel like this had to come out, but
No,
I'm
it
sure that
didn't.
it was just feeling pressure to keep that cycle going.
Yeah,
And,
they're trying to keep on the Call of
this
Duty
might
cycle.
finally be the game that says like take like 2 years to make the next damn one. Like don't stop this yearly entry crap.
Stop
Yeah.
it.
Stop it.
Yeah.
All right.
8 of the top 20 were new releases.
Wow.
Yo, all
Wow.
right.
So yeah, as you're saying, big October month.
Big.
You know what hit number 1?
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty,
Modern Warfare 2.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
What do you think hit number 2?
Gotham Knights.
Yep. Gotham Knights popped in there.
Oh. Take that, haters.
Very surprising,
Just kidding.
I guess.
Just-
I don't know.
I'm
Huge
just
IP.
kidding.
We got
Yeah.
6 more newbies on the list. What do you think's in there?
Well, where was? I don't know. If, in the 20, did Martin Ravage chart in the top 20?
Number 6.
Okay,
Oh.
good. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
I actually did
Number 6? Wow.
Yeah, I had no idea about the numbers. So
From
that's-
physical only? Or is that Ubisoft that they record?
Ubisoft shows digital as
Yeah,
well.
Okay,
that's
okay.
probably everything. That's
But,
still good to see.
Yeah, still nice.
Yeah, the first one has been one of the best-selling
Yeah, I
third-party
thought
games
this one
because of
might be
Mario.
like a big decline,
Yeah.
but it seemed to be okay. That's good to hear.
There is more Nintendo representation on this list, though.
Oh, it was Bayonetta?
Number 9.
Yeah.
There you
Wow,
go.
so
And that's
Oh.
physical only.
Yeah.
There you go.
Wow.
That's good to see. Top 10 for
Probably wasn't
for
on there
Bayonetta.
very long, too. Or out very long.
Yeah,
for that,
Yeah, I
for
think it
that.
came out
28th.
later in the month.
Yeah.
We'll clear the sports out of the air since you probably aren't remembering them.
Oh,
NHL 23 is
yeah.
at number
Get
5.
the NBA one out of
FIFA.
there. And
At
FIFA.
PGA is at number
PGA.
17.
You got golf in there.
Yeah, PGA Tour 2K23.
Okay.
All right.
2K's been doing that the last couple of years.
Yeah.
All right.
And then
Was that it?
Madden?
got 2 more Japanese games.
2 more Japanese games, huh?
All right. We had a bunch of stuff come out from Square Enix. I don't think any of that charted.
No.
Yeah.
No way.
wish. What else came out? Did what else? Anything come out from Capcom? Capcom did RE8 Village go back in the top 20 somehow?
That wouldn't be marked as new, though.
Oh, damn it. Okay.
Yeah, these are still new games?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I never remember what
All right, well, Damiani is completely wrong. Star Ocean: The Divine Force
Oh, yeah?
showed up at 14.
Oh,
Wow.
Okay.
And then our last one, Dragon Ball: The Breakers.
The
at 16.
Let's go. It made it.
Breakers,
That's a win for anime.
Anime games sell, dude. I'm so curious to see when One Piece comes out.
Even
Boy.
when
Yeah.
he plays Goku, so
You know, he plays Goku, yeah.
he plays the dumb human.
He plays like Oolong and Bulma and some randos.
So good.
We did get
Piece.
some like new platform bumps. Persona 5
Royal?
bumped up from 291 to 7
Wow!
because of that Royal release. Yeah.
Nice.
Switch.
Everything.
And no, I mean,
this the PC
I'm thinking what
release?
it. I don't think it sold much on Xbox probably because it's on Game
PC?
Pass. No, I'm sure it did sell good on PC.
Is Royal on PC?
Yes.
Okay.
It's on everything
Did it
now.
come out the same time as these, or did it
Yes,
come out
it
earlier?
did.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on everything now. So that's awesome though. Hell yeah.
And then
I wonder how Game Pass. Do we know how does Game Pass impact NPD? Like, do they count that money?
they don't count it as a game sale,
No.
but they do
Right.
track the money. That's why we're saying like subs
Okay.
were up. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
What's the other one?
The other one, Near Automata,
Whoa.
that got a port as well.
Oh right.
That
Switch.
that
Fucking
came up from
Switch.
217 to 19th place.
How's it run on Switch? That thing could barely run on
in
my
the end, it ran
PlayStation.
well, but maybe I just had a
Whoa.
weird version at that preview event. It did not run well. It doesn't run at 60. I don't know how you can play that game. That game was a 60 frames.
I don't know if it
second
ran
game.
stable 60 even when it came out.
It sure didn't on my base PS4.
Yeah, I don't think it did.
This felt like it was running at maybe 30.
All right, so our top 10's got 3 more sports games in it.
Yes.
FIFA 23, Madden, and NBA.
Yeah.
Yep.
But there's one more game, the number 10 slot,
One more game.
Mario Kart.
hanging in there.
Animal Crossing?
Mario Kart's down at 11.
Oh,
Just missed it.
Oh. just a
Splatoon
bit
still?
outside.
Minecraft.
Oh, yeah,
came
Splatoon's
back.
a good pick.
Minecraft come back?
Minecraft is there at 13. Splatoon is at 12.
Oh, Splatoon holding on.
Kirby?
No.
No.
No, Kirby.
No Kirby.
Switch Sports?
No.
Biggest of the year. Switch Sports is down at 18, by the way.
Oh.
Wait. Switch Sports is biggest of the year.
No.
No, this game. Bloodsaying.
Is what?
Arceus?
No,
game-
Elden Ring.
Oh!
Still there at 10.
I thought you said it was a
Nintendo game.
Nintendo
Yeah, I
game.
thought you
Oh,
were
no,
Nintendo, and
sorry.
I'm like, wait, what?
I didn't say Nintendo,
I was like,
but I don't know how I
Arceus
got
is the
that.
best-selling
got
game of the year to
confused.
date for Nintendo.
Next week.
Yeah, no, I was just saying one more game that
Yeah,
wasn't a
hell
sports
yeah.
game.
Elden Ring. Excellent.
Oh yeah, Elden
Elden
Ring,
Ring,
holding
baby.
strong.
Keep going.
Keep it up.
Prep for that DLC Shadow Drop at the Game Awards. Hell
Come
yeah.
on, Miyazaki. You got the
I
goods.
forgot about that. There's still DLC.
Maybe.
Open
Probably.
those Coliseums, baby.
Yeah.
I hope it's more than just Coliseums,
Yeah,
I
baby.
also hope that,
I hope it's
baby.
way more than Coliseums too. I don't want.
I don't really care about the Coliseums.
Yeah, I don't care
actually,
about
baby.
PvP too much.
What?
So we hit on most of them, but from beginning to end, number 1, Modern Warfare 2. Number 2, Gotham Knights. 3, FIFA. 4, Madden. 5, NHL. 6, Mario & Rabbids. 7, Persona 5. 8, NBA. 9, Bayonetta 3. 10, Elden Ring. 11, Mario Kart 8. 12, Splatoon 3. 13, Minecraft. 14, Star Ocean. 15, Grounded.
Oh,
Popped up from 54.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Your streams help.
16, Dragon Ball. 17, PGA. 18, Switch Sports. 19, Nier. And 20,
What's 20?
Smash Brothers.
Ah.
Keeping it in there.
Holding on.
Holding on for dear life.
Yeah, because we're not getting a new one for like 7 more years.
Forever.
Yeah, or ever. Yeah.
Those remake it, remaster
Yeah,
it for
yeah.
Switch 2. Watch. Here you go. Here it is again.
Also this week, Bethesda put out a statement
Right.
to respond to Mick Gordon. I'm going to read this thing. The recent post by Mick Gordon both mischaracterized and misrepresented the team at id Software, the development of Doom Eternal, Marty Stratton, and Chad Mossholder, with a one-sided and unjust account of an irreparable professional relationship. We are aware of all the details and history in this matter and unequivocally support Marty, Chad, and the team at id. We reject the distortion of the truth and selective presentation of incomplete, quote-unquote, facts. We stand ready with full and complete documented evidence to disclose in an appropriate venue as needed. The statements posted online have incited harassment and threats of violence against Marty, Chad, and the id Software team. Any threats or harassment directed towards members of our teams will be met with swift and appropriate action to protect their health and safety. We remain incredibly proud of id's previous collaborations with Mick Gordon and ask that fans refrain from reaching conclusions based on his account and, more importantly, from attacking any of the individuals mentioned on either side, including Marty, Chad, or Mick.
What about that Reddit post that guy
All right.
made?
Right. That's the first reaction, right? It's like, oh, this was a one-sided account
Yeah.
of an irreparable professional relationship.
Which
and like,
you did first.
Yeah.
So yeah, they started this before. It actually sounded like Mick might have been like a good sport about it, even after the initial outburst. But it sounds like behind the scenes, they were just telling other people about like their side of the story, and found like Mick was pressured to have to put out a statement. Period, and show the receipts because he was like damaging his ability to get work based on what he found was like unfounded BS. This statement, like, okay, shouldn't be harassing, should not be directly attacking
said.
anyone.
He
but
said right away,
Mick Gordon specifically, no one condones that shit. But Mick Gordon specifically was always asking people, "I don't condone this. Do not do this. This."
Well, he specifically said it will make it worse.
Worse. Yeah, exactly. That was the wording he used. So, like, he's trying to do everything he can to mitigate it and does not want that to be happening. He's actively against that. And but their wording about the appropriate venue, it means, like, take us to court if you want to see this stuff. So like they're bluffing. Like they know Mick is not going to sue them to take them to court and drag this out. So like it's just it's just posturing to me from them. And like I don't know. I don't take like the big company, statement, PR sounding statement over like a very thorough, extensive, one of the most extensive rebukes of a freaking like claim I've seen in one of these things. And like I don't know. I still feel like I side, with Mick Gordon's account on this. And like if they want, show something, say something. Like don't keep it like hidden, like appropriate venue. Like this is just damage control to me. I don't buy this.
Yes, I can understand why they don't want to share everything if they do go to court, and he don't want to show any of that stuff before then or whatever. But they are losing in the court of public eye, without a question, without a doubt. Mm-hmm. Everyone's on Mick's side over this right now. It's like, yeah, we don't know everything, but it's not looking good for you right now. And they probably won't show anything, and it's just like, that's kind of like a statement that's like very empty.
Right.
It feels like hollow. You're just like, okay. Like, this feels totally unacceptable, honestly. It's not good. It's not a good response, but it's like, I don't know. You gotta figure something out.
Yeah.
Gotta do something.
Yeah, I mean, would it have just been best to just not say anything?
At this point, yeah. If that's your response, I would say.
Yeah, because it doesn't feel like we're ever going to get to an amicable
so that's
ending.
Yeah,
I think that's it. Like, as Brad opened, it said like they started it. Mick responded like, "There, okay." They each said something. There, it's over. Like, drop. Like, let it be. And I don't know. I think this might be the end of it because it is such a non-statement to like Mick will just be like, sure, whatever. Like, as you said, Brad. Public opinion, public sports still on Mick's side after this, and it's like,
he's probably the most thing he's probably concerned about is just like people not giving him work because they think
his
he's a headache.
They'll see this and be like, all right, that like just like I'm reading it, like there's I don't think there's something good with that. So like I'm gonna give the benefit of the doubt to Mick and like, hey, we other work that we were questionable about if there were offers, like let's get that going now. Like we feel confident in moving forward with you. Hopefully that's the case. And he's satisfied, and they can move on from this because the one thing it does sound like is they do want to, both sides seem like just want to move on from this crap.
Right.
Like it's in the past, like nothing can be done to change it. Just let's move on and crap. As long as Mick can get work and not be impeded by whatever, if anything's going on behind the scenes, to damage his rep.
Activision Blizzard games will soon be unavailable to play in China.
Yeah.
Activision's had a partnership with NetEase for distribution in China since 2008.
Yes.
But they weren't able to come to an agreement on a new deal that, quote unquote, is consistent with Blizzard's operating principles and commitments to players and employees.
Oh, that's rich.
Interesting what that
Very
might
interesting.
mean.
Yeah, what the hell does that mean?
Yeah, so the agreement will expire, ending services for games like WoW, StarCraft, and Diablo on January 23rd in China.
Yeah.
That'll be a big financial blow.
Exactly.
Damn.
I don't know what their profit percentage from that region is.
People
Huge,
I have no idea.
probably.
People
Maybe.
point out that they have pro teams that are in China still for their games,
Yeah,
so this is going to impact that as well. So,
It's been a lot of crazy crackdowns in China and stuff. And like
what was
surveillance on gamers and all
Yes,
that.
there's been a lot, and I wonder if maybe something to do with this whole Activision Microsoft thing going on, not wanting to commit maybe until that's all sorted out, that whole thing.
Yeah,
Because like
maybe
if they're getting bought and they're making these deals right before then, they may want to wait. To
Somebody said they may go with a different partner.
yeah,
in the
they
future.
can totally go.
Oh yeah, that could be it too.
Absolutely.
Chat was saying that too. NetEase just probably wanted too big of a cut.
Yeah, they probably
could be
They
that.
could easily go to
Yeah.
someone else. Yeah.
It's probably a little bit both. You're
Yeah,
right.
sure.
Like you're getting Microsoft probably wants to have some say in a huge
Oh,
contract
absolutely.
for like one
Absolutely,
of
they
the
would
biggest
want to.
region in the world, and it's like biggest market in the world. Yeah.
Mike Ybarra, who's the head of Blizzard now, he I believe worked at Microsoft
Yeah.
before, so he probably has a very close relationship with that and talking, just figuring all this stuff out. So, I mean, they could have probably afford to wait a little bit if they want to.
Yeah.
So
It would be interesting to see Activision Blizzard's like breakdown globally because places like Riot, I don't know the exact percentages, but like U.S. is a small percentage of their total revenue.
for like League of Legends. Big time.
For League, it's like
yeah.
we are nothing compared to everybody else.
Yeah.
Whereas here, I wonder
Yeah.
for Activision.
A lot of game companies that do business, like that whole region over there is huge for them. Also for like slightly older games or games that aren't as like taxing, like South America is huge too.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
some games you'll look at, like you think they're popular here and then like doesn't even come close to the numbers. Yeah.
They can't sell Call of Duty in China, can they?
That's published through Square Enix, isn't
I think
it?
Call of
In
Duty
China?
Mobile or something.
They've
is
used
in
Square
there.
Enix in
In
the
China?
past to do it. I don't know how recent, but at some point in the past, they did use Square Enix to publish Call of Duty in Japan. I don't know if that's
No. I'm talking China, not Japan.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I don't know
I don't know.
100% sure.
Yeah, I'm
but
sorry.
I think
Yeah.
that they might.
Croldemort in chat thinks possibly Microsoft has an existing contract also that they might just jump onto.
Yeah,
That could be.
Yeah.
could be.
Yeah. Sorry.
On the day of Somerville's launch, the Thunderful Group acquired Jumpship, the developers of that game. Formed in 2017, Thunderful is also where the SteamWorld games are.
Oh, right.
Lonely Mountain Downhill,
Cool.
Planet of Lana coming from them.
Cool.
And they say now they have, with all the studios combined, they have about 300 employees in that group.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
So they're not indie.
But that's the question. Nobody owns Thunderful, but Thunderful owns all these separate tiny little studios. Yeah.
We gotta come up with a new
How
term
big? You
for
know,
this.
because it's the thing. It's like, well, Valve.
Yeah.
1.5A instead of AA or AAA.
Best art game.
Yeah.
The complete edition of The Witcher 3 is finally coming December 14th,
Yeah.
including dozens of visual performance and technical enhancements over the original, including ray tracing support, faster loading times on console, integrated mods, Netflix show-themed items, and more.
I'm curious about what more is.
Yeah, free update, and it's not only coming to PS5 and Series X, but also getting content updates on PC, Switch, and last gen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sounds great.
So everyone gets new stuff.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to this, Blood. I really like The Witcher 3 a lot. So, and it's been a long time since I played it. I definitely want to revisit it. Like, I played some of it on PS. I beat it on PS4, then I played a lot of it on PC later. But I'm just curious to see it now on, like, current gen and all that stuff, and all this new content they're adding and all that stuff.
Looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reviewed on PS4 and then played through it again on PC and did the expansions on PC.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to come with all the expansions. And, like, you can get The Witcher 3 cheap a lot of times.
Yeah.
Like, I just saw it recently. It was like $10. It's like, with everything. Like, complete edition. It's like,
And you get free upgrades.
that's a hell of a value, man. Like, that's a...
Probably gonna be some sales coming up
Yeah,
too as well.
some Steam
Good
sales
time to
probably
get
coming.
it.
Yeah, all that stuff. Definitely.
I don't know if I have it. I'll pick it up.
Nintendo of Japan is joining a growing trend among Japanese companies in which it will refuse to fix or replace items if customers threaten or harass its staff.
Damn.
So,
Yeah, sure.
good move there. I think.
Yeah,
it's,
definitely.
You know, as we're seeing, it's like it's kind of needed. Remedy and 505s have signed an agreement under which they will co-develop and co-publish Control 2,
Yo!
formerly known as codenamed Heron.
Very cool. Great. Happy this game's getting a sequel. I feel like Remedy is doing so much.
Yeah.
So much. And I'm like, man,
Well,
I hope you just keep the quality up. That's all I'm worried about. I'm just hoping they're not spread too thin.
Yeah, it's in the concept phase. So
Yeah.
they've got
Yeah, it's
time to
ways
finish
off
Alan Wake
still.
2 and all that.
or at least
but, yeah.
prioritize this game.
Did they do...
But they're doing the Max Payne remake too,
Yes,
right?
they are.
Jeez.
And they're doing Alan Wake 2. And they were going to do that multiplayer thing. Maybe it was them.
yeah,
For the
multiplayer control.
Did they do...
Crossfire or whatever too.
Did they do Crossfire?
Crossfire
X?
is out. Yeah.
Did they do that? I heard that's terrible.
Yeah.
We got to pay the bills. But I'm happy that game did good enough. And they're getting a sequel. That's awesome. It seems like they worked with 505 quite a bit. So
Yeah.
good for Remedy. They're a great studio. I like them a lot. So hell yeah.
Crystal Dynamics received over 100,000 responses to their survey gauging interest in a new Legacy of Kain title.
Wow, you don't say.
They say
Yeah.
typically such surveys only get 1,000 to 3,000 responses.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would have never thought people would be interested in this series.
Yeah.
Wow.
Phil Spencer said the standalone Xbox streaming device, codenamed Keystone, worked well, but so far they haven't been able to hit the price point they want.
Right, yeah.
He wants it to be around $100 to $130, including the controller.
Whoa.
Whoa, with the controller.
Wow.
Wow. That's
So
okay.
minus
So that means
40,
it's
50
like
bucks minimum right there.
So like a Chrome TV, Google Chrome TV is like $30. So it would have to be something like that? Just a tiny dongle you plug into an HDMI?
Yeah,
or
basically,
something?
yeah.
What if they make a cheaper controller? for
They could.
this?
Yeah, they absolutely
It's even
could.
cheaper.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Oh,
But it would still have to be completely compatible.
Yeah, like same amount of buttons
Yeah.
and everything, but just lower quality.
I forget. Is the argument for keeping the rechargeable battery option in them to keep the cost down, or instead of just having like rechargeable batteries in there?
I think there's a couple of things.
Or is it an
behind
agreement
it.
they made? or
Yeah,
something?
I mean, I think there might be a deal with it,
Yeah.
but I also think it's, to give people a choice or whatever.
Gotcha. I don't know if like something like that just going to like no, it's just like a
I'm still
battery
mad
in
about
there. Yeah. Like it's just a rechargeable battery with cutting costs.
Put
Yeah.
it in there, dude.
But he was saying too that they basically, since they couldn't hit that price point, that's why they like pivoted to doing the Samsung
Sure.
TV app.
Sure, yeah.
Make sure that was good and had that working. That's been rolling out this year.
Interesting.
I want to try that sometime.
What? They're like xCloud stuff?
Yeah.
It's good. It works good.
And
That's real good.
pour one out for Kevin Conroy, who passed away last week. Beloved voice of Batman,
Yeah.
starting with Batman animated series, continued through decades of shows, games, and films, including the Arkham games,
Yeah.
of course.
Fantastic voice.
Yeah, it's like, it was just like a couple of months ago, people were like, who's your favorite Batman? And I'm like, I don't know. It's like, oh, Conroy.
Yeah,
It's
he's
like,
so
easy.
good. He was so good
Yeah.
as Batman. Damn.
It's time for Love and Respect. Wow.
Whoa.
Love and
and
Respect. First time that's happened.
Yeah.
From Renardum. Hi, allies. Why is there so much talking in games recently?
Here, here.
It feels like modern AAA games always have a character chatting about something, usually to a companion or sidekick. But if no one is around, then they just talk to themselves instead. I'm mostly bringing this up because God of War Ragnarok just came out, of course, but it's something that's been bugging me for probably a good few years now. When I think of my favorite recent games, for example, Elden Ring, Outer Wilds, or Breath of the Wild, they're all games that let me soak up the atmosphere, enjoy the music, pause, and enjoy the visuals. I can't imagine how much worse they would be with a companion talking to you every 10 seconds, telling you to keep moving, making funny quips, or most egregiously, telling you how to solve puzzles before you even have a chance to investigate them. It completely breaks my immersion, and I can think of multiple series I used to love that have, to me, been ruined by this trend. How do you feel about it? And can you think of any games that would be improved by removing a chatty companion? Sorry for the rant. Love and respect.
Removing a chatting companion?
This is why NPCs should only talk at bonfires.
Nice.
I mean, I like when sometimes they talk together when it feels natural. But if they're just going forever and ever and ever, it's like you need to pace this out. You need to separate it. I don't think there's a problem with characters talking to each other. Because if
Right.
you're with a companion character and they didn't say anything ever, it'd be very weird. But it's like, yeah, you just gotta find the balance. Gotta find a balance. Like, calm down. They don't need to talk forever.
Yeah, I agree. Also, it falls in the same category like battle voices and stuff,
Yes.
like excessive
Yes.
like dialogues and chattiness and like combat, which is the worst time. It's like, okay, just because it works in a Marvel movie because like they're specifically framing the shot and they have the editing and timing down. In a game, I have to look at the HUD and the enemies and stuff. I might not even hear the damn one-liner. It's like, who cares? Like, save that stuff for like the downtime at least. So I hate it even more when they do it, like try and have anything meaningful during like a battle sequence.
Oh, sure.
Unless it's like scripted and very controlled where you're going to be able to like digest it and actually appreciate it.
This is an Ace Combat complaint, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
If you're not aware.
Also, like, I mean,
Definitely not a game that you can put Japanese subtitles on.
Right.
but also like just excessive like talking and stuff and
Yeah.
like repetitive battle cries is like an old thing too. Like, even,
Right.
like, Xenoblade, more recent one.
Tails.
Like struggle. Tails has to deal with that shit.
Demon Fang.
Yeah, Demon Fang.
Yeah.
Like, shouting your like your attack move over and over. It's like, please stop. Like, I don't need this. Like, it's cool. Like, we get it in anime. You do it in anime because they do it once an episode where it's like that's their trademark move. You get at the branding. But in a game, it's like, no.
I can see in like Xenoblade the just sort of the coordination. Like you hear them do it, so you don't have to watch everything that's happening at the same time, because that's kind of crazy too. So it's like you hear that they're doing this, like, oh, I can combo into something because they just did it.
That can be very useful, but it's also like when they keep saying like, it's Rhine time, it's Rhine time, it's Rhine time. It's like, okay, bud, yeah, it's Rhine time. I get it. It's like, cool.
Definitely.
Yeah. Just tone it down a little bit. I mean, I appreciate like kind of like banter in some points when otherwise just be like maybe a boring corridor sequence. So like they got to dress it up, but like it speaks to your point, Brad. Like that's an appropriate time to do it, but I feel like they do it because it's not necessarily to hold your attention, but I feel like sometimes writers or the developers feel it's like elevating the game quality because like, man, you don't really get games where I have this like level of writing and stuff like every minute of the game. And I think they don't sit back and realize sometimes that's a little too overwhelming or overbearing.
Yes.
To take your pick there. Yeah.
It's like it's one of those things with some kind of games where it feels like the game is trying to be two different things at the same time always, where it's like God of War or whatever, like they're trying to be a fun action game and a serious cinematic story game, and they don't ever want to just let one of them hold the reins for a super long period of time. Like even boss fights, they're talking a lot, which is like cool sometimes, but at the same time it's like you could just let the sequence be the sequence, have an action moment, let that carry it. I don't know. It's not bad. It's a thing that's happening, I've noticed.
Yeah. I like a lot of what God of War is doing, especially like when you get into the side quests and you start hearing like backstories of people and their regrets and all of that.
Sure, yeah.
But the puzzle thing is definitely an issue.
Yeah, the big hang up
it's
for
a
sure.
Big problem.
Yes.
Also, my favorite bad interaction in God of War is Kratos, you're on fire.
Yeah.
It'll pass.
Dude,
these are all.
Oh my god.
Why?
These are all combat
All the time.
things. Yeah.
Every single time.
It's like, did they do play tests and people didn't know where they were on fire or something? Like, I don't understand.
But see, that's what gets me with the puzzle thing, though, because it's like
That's play testing. That's why they're in there.
It feels like people had to be told what to do.
They did. Some people did.
Because
Just let me turn it
I saw
off,
some comments
man.
on Somerville, as soon as people got to start playing it, and I'm like, I felt like a lot of those puzzles were pretty basic until like the very end, and so it's just like you're asking about that, really?
Yeah.
I
mean, if you're gonna do that, just let me turn it off. Mm-hmm. Then like, fine. Because I don't want to be told the solution to the puzzle right away.
Right. Or like, it wasn't the greatest, but when the last Tomb Raider game had like separate things, it's like here's the combat challenge and like here's the puzzle challenge and that sort of thing. And so I feel like when you're setting up your challenge, like, okay, here I want no mercy, whatever for combat.
Yeah.
And then for puzzles, it's like, don't give me a hint unless I push a button or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, even Silent Hill 3 did that like 100 years ago.
Yeah, if you're gonna give the solution away, I feel like it does work in some mediums, like in a narrative style, like a film where there's some elaborate set piece and they're explaining what they're gonna do, but the tension is things start working against you to impede you from doing that. So like in God of War, I think I might have been okay with them saying the solution, but then like something happens and like you like enemies start attacking or something, and then now there's like a time limit, a ticking clock or something, like to add tension and a little bit stakes to it. But they don't even like do that. It's just like no, it just
Or like
if they need to do something else to add on to that, or as you said, just take it away. Like just give it an option to turn it off.
Or like later in the, not specifically God of War, but like if you do it with intention, like if you have the characters saying it really quickly, like all the time, later have a companion that's like a liar and they just tell you the wrong things to do just to like mess with you, but like you've set the precedent or like play with it at least. I don't know.
I remember Horizon Forbidden West had Aloy was like always talking about like everything.
I can put this in my stash.
I was just like, dude, you gotta stop. You gotta bring it back down a little bit. I think they actually did patch it so you can like do some stuff, thankfully, but I do distinctly remember
I know they
that.
patched it so you don't have to watch the animations too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like sometimes it works for me. Like I like Drake in Uncharted games, like when he talks to himself. I think it
Yeah.
usually works pretty well. But it just depends on the writing, I guess, and how frequent it is.
Yeah.
Because, like, Horizon's a huge, big RPG, and Uncharted's like a popcorn, like very much, you have a path you're going down action
And
flick.
I think Last of Us does this well, where it's like they know the time to talk, and then they know, like, in combat, like, they get quiet because they're just like, these enemies, we don't want them to hear us. Like, we're sneaking around, you know. Like, that fits better. And so, like, Ellie and Joel will be chatting, and then they get into a situation, and they shut up, which I think is better. I don't know.
Imagine the context is pretty good. I guess maybe with God of War, because it's a fantasy,
right,
fantasy.
And they don't need to be quiet.
The boundaries aren't always there. Yeah. Whereas, like, when you were talking about it, made me think of also like Death Stranding. Like, if like Sam Porter Bridge was like talking constantly, that would not but being such a silent, visceral game, it's like this is great. Like, just taking all these sights and sounds and just like being on my own.
Yeah.
I think that's a great point, Damian. Like, there is, God of War and Elden Ring are mentioned in the same breath a lot, especially with Game Awards or whatever. But, like, they are doing very, very different things, God of War is a very much more narrative game. And, like, Elden Ring or Outer Wilds or Breath of the Wild, like they brought up, is more about, like, Death Stranding also is more about, like, being on your own and like exploring quietly and it's kind of
I mean, God of War, you have like a companion with you the entire game.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that they would talk to each other.
Yeah. It's usually two people.
Yeah.
So you,
it's like an Elden Ring, you're just going out on your own. And like NPCs don't really like follow you in that game or anything like that.
Right.
So give me the option.
Somebody should mod Mimir into Elden Ring.
Oh my god.
It'd be so funny. Just constantly
Tarnished,
talking.
you're on fire.
And you just never respond to him. And he's just like cracking wise about everything constantly.
Yeah. It's funny though because I genuinely enjoy a lot of it, but it's just too much.
Yes.
It's a little bit too much.
A little too much.
Here we go. From Harrison Holt McHale. Could someone please explain to me how Elden Ring is nominated for Best Narrative at the Game Awards? I love Elden Ring, but it's not a game I would recommend people looking for a game with a good story.
This is an argument as old as time, baby boy. This is the lore versus what we were just talking about debate, where it's like, can you tell a story that fits a medium, or do you have to be an HBO show? Ha 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 ha. But like, it's just a different way of telling a story. That doesn't mean it's not a story.
Let me bring up the dictionary definition of narrative.
Oh god.
A spoken or written account of connected events, a story. Elden Ring has all of that. There are characters that you talk to in that game that speak to you and tell you stories of what's going on in this land. The beginning, there was a story setting up of why you were in this land. There was quest lines with story, like Ronnie's whole quest line, all that stuff.
Yeah,
There
it's
is
not
a
just about
narrative
reading item
in
descriptions.
Elden Ring.
It helps.
It helps. It is not necessarily the type of narrative like a God of War where it just tells you and all that stuff. They do tell you stuff, but it's a narrative in a different way sometimes. It is still a narrative. You don't have to like the story in Elden Ring or think it's the best, but there is a narrative.
Yeah, this feels like latent salt from like Dark Souls, where like most of the lore was in item descriptions. Elden Ring has so much story.
Yes.
So many cutscenes.
People think
so
it's
much talking.
only story if it's talked to you through like a cutscene like all the time. It's like there's so much story and a narrative in Elden Ring.
The fact that this is an argument.
Like I don't understand Blood. What is happening?
Yeah.
So to be fair,
People like their handheld.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. It's it definitely has a story. There's no arguing against it. I mean, the question is like
That's the thing.
best.
It's just like if you think it's the best, I think
Yeah.
it's one of the best narratives.
Yeah.
I like the narrative a lot in
I
that
guess
game.
there's some reasoning for why. That's all.
But I'm just saying like a narrative is more than just a cutscene someone
Oh
talking
yeah,
to you.
absolutely. Yeah.
And I just think like it's there. It's written.
But it is a bunch of cutscenes with people talking.
Yeah,
to you
there is that
as well.
too.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's like it's all there.
They have so much traditional stuff in that game. Honestly, like for me, like give an answer, like I don't know if I'd put it in best narrative personally,
Sure.
but a strong argument for like maybe elevating it is one of the multiple endings. It was one of my favorite endings in a game in a long time. Like I really liked a certain ending.
Yeah, like I loved
Which one, Ronnie?
the one where you like just like the cursed like
the bottom the doorway one.
that
Yeah,
one.
going through
That
some
felt
of
like-
those character
it was like
storylines, I really enjoyed. Like I even loved the story, the narrative behind Radon and him like being like losing his mind, being on that beach, and like they're doing this festival to honor him as a warrior and bring him down. Like that's narrative. It's there.
Yeah, the evolution
Sort it out,
of that,
man.
Yeah, the evolution of that world is tied to like the actual the literal narrative of that game.
Yeah.
Like as the zones evolve, as you do certain things, it's like, and you kind of impact that. Like it's dynamic, and I think that's why it's harder to digest. Is that it's not all scripted and strung along.
Yes.
You have to like earn it.
Like,
yeah.
They want the people arguing against this want like most linear narrative.
Yes, that's what it sounds like, a linear narrative.
Because it's like one of my
Point A to
favorite
point
video
B.
game narratives of all time is Outer Wilds, and that's all told through.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, there's no
little text
talking
things.
almost.
Yeah, it's
you
not
know?
like I'm even selling the point of like my narrative was my journey of me going,
Right.
like that was my story. It's like, no, there is an actual narrative in this game. There's an actual story. I'm not making my own story. That's in the game. It's there.
They even felt compelled for like one of the, I don't know if they've done it before, but like one of the highest profile of like post-patch support of like giving more narrative to side quests because they knew people were not feeling fulfilled.
Jarberg.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and two, you know, it's one of the things that, you know, it's been an element of the past games as well, but just this sense of, you know, you see somebody and you think they're cool, but like, you know, you start finding out more about them.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, do I trust this guy?
Yes.
Do I want to keep following this
Yes.
path? You know?
Also, did you know, has God of War's story spawned 35 different lore YouTube channels dedicated entirely to talking about the lore and narrative in that? Like,
So
no?
Yeah. There's definitely an aspect to it. I'll say this, Isla. There's definitely an aspect to like it speaks to a lot of people, but also the nature of this type of storytelling lends itself very well to speculation, theorizing, and you know, getting more involved because it's more of like it's part of like the experience. It's like it's partially a mystery. Not everything is answered for you, and it takes effort to figure it out. So it's kind of like a communal thing where people share. Like I saw this, you saw this. Like let's piece this together, this narrative, and it's kind of, you know, it's a very shared experience. Whereas
there's room for speculation in these games, which is a big part of it. But there's also concrete lore in there that is like 100%.
Yeah. Or sometimes just there won't be anything said.
Yeah.
And they'll just be like some body, or there always some
like visual
monster
storytelling.
somewhere.
Yeah.
And it's like you've got to piece together.
That's narrative, dude.
Yeah.
And I love it because that's like a good balance there that keeps people talking about this long after the game comes out. And like sure, you could say like people who are champion God of Wars, they might like remember it and stuff, but I think it's two different.
They're two different styles.
I feel
of narrative.
they're very two different styles. And honestly, if you ask me which one is better for the video game medium and like will be better to like foster like, you know, the growth of your game, like something like Elden Ring or From Soft direction is probably a better direction to go in.
Right.
You just, I think it takes a lot more skill to pull off.
Yeah,
those
it's just different styles of narrative.
Did you see Corey Barlog jumping in on this the other day?
No.
This was really interesting because it sounds like he's actually they're gonna be working on another game that doesn't do like the God of War style.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can find it, but
That's cool to hear that they.
But he was talking about something that like fits video game medium more. Yeah.
Yeah, that's something I'd like to see at all the Sony studios, like first-party studios,
Like smaller projects or different things.
try their hands at. Is they've demonstrated their mastery of that type of storytelling. I'd like to see them try and tackle a different direction for some of their projects. Obviously, their existing ITs that might be a little too jarring, and they got to keep those going. Some of those, but
They used to have Studio Japan.
yeah, but I mean. Eventually, they'll be able to do like a different project at some point.
Yeah,
you know, like
definitely.
Naughty Dog.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
I'd love to see them try something a little different.
So here's the thread from Corey. Narrative story means so many things in games. Their delivery method and frequency differ in all games. Because games are what they are, I feel there is narrative story in all games. While non-traditional in its manifestation, they all take us on a unique and moving journey. We have gripped so tightly to long-held beliefs of what story narrative is shaped by, shaped by experiences with books, movies, and TV. They are the blueprints of how a narrative story must be delivered. But games are relatively new, so stay tuned. We hope to help move the needle to change that.
Yeah, I mean, he's right.
Yeah.
But like even the definition I brought up of what a narrative is like still fits to Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good thing to hear. Like, I like that argument that the video games are new because there's been so many different pioneers trying to push
of
narrative
course, yeah.
storytelling. I mean, not this type of storytelling, but just seeing like Metal Gear Solid for the first time with Kojima. Like it wasn't the first, one of the highest profile ones of like trying to do a more traditional type storytelling in a video game. When people said you can't really do that in a video game, it's like, well, we're going to challenge you on that.
Yes.
And now it's like, well, there's other ways.
I mean,
to do
unpacking
this.
was one of the biggest ones last year.
Oh,
Yeah.
forgot
In
about
terms of-
that.
yeah, narrative. Not even really a lot of text in there.
Yeah. Open your mind.
That's the thing. That's what I think this boils down to. And like, Elden Ring isn't even my favorite, like, from narrative. I don't think Elden Ring's story is particularly amazing or anything. But like, people less and less in life, I find, since the dawn of the internet, I guess, are less comfortable with ambiguity and less comfortable with things having, broader definitions and different possibilities. And I think that's dangerous and scary that like this became an argument. It's just like, who cares? Like all in all, like, cool, whatever, I don't know. Like the fact that Cory Barlog had to get in on this.
Yeah, that's so stupid that he even had to feel to say that. It's like,
Right.
Like, just chill, everybody.
True. I will say it also is helpful to have more high-profile people speak out like this.
Yeah.
Yes,
Because people were pitting the two against each other, and
Yeah,
it's like now he's here
really
defending
dumb.
Elden
That's
Ring.
really
yeah.
dumb. Don't do that.
The pitting part's bad, but there are genuinely people who like have not been challenged on their position. So having higher profile people challenge people's beliefs on this is very good. I think
Very true.
to have them because sometimes they haven't like had to think critically about it, and some people do sometimes respond well to being pushed like that. Like, yeah, you're right, and like, oh, this is different. Doesn't mean it's bad. I just haven't experienced it yet. Let me try it. Oh, I might like this. So
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
From Eric Bruns. Hi, allies. I played through Red Dead Redemption on PS3 about 5 years ago and really enjoyed it. I just started Red Dead 2, and I'm about 6 to 8 hours in. I know it will be great, but at the moment, I'm having a hard time getting into it. I'm overwhelmed.
Well, you're only 10% through the tutorial, so.
Right. Trying to balance out all these little systems doesn't seem worth it to me. I know I can handle it once I figure it all out, but I don't really want to take care of my chores or feed my horse or brush it regularly or provide food for my camp or make sure my outfit is appropriate for the weather or learn how to craft tonics, etc. I wish there was a difficulty level that allowed me to just follow the story and ride through the wilderness helping or hurting random NPCs without worrying about the nitpicky stuff. And frankly, I only have time to play for about 2 hours each weekend. I know it's a great game. I hope I'm able to get over the picky details and truly enjoy it. So my question is, do you think games like this will ever offer toggle in the settings that allows you to choose between, for lack of a better term, simulation versus arcade mode?
Oh, good.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
I
Giddy up,
mean,
partner.
some games do that, like some survival games I know, and I think Fallout has a mode where you like have to drink water
Yeah.
and like eat and stuff like
Right.
that. So some games kind of have stuff like that, and like, but their example of like Red Dead is like you don't have to do a lot of that stuff. You don't have to do it.
Yeah, Red Dead 2, you can ignore most
You
of
can
that.
ignore a lot of that
if you
stuff.
want. Like, if you don't care about it, it's fine.
That's good to know. Good
Yeah.
to hear.
Yeah, it's like there, it's cool. I like that stuff there, but it's like I'm not doing that the entire game. It's like I have a checklist every time I log into the game or something like that.
Right. I think you do have like literal checklist stuff too
Yeah.
with like the camp
Yeah.
funds.
Yeah, like you have objectives and stuff like that, but it's not like a huge chore list for me where I'm like, I gotta brush my horse today, I gotta make coffee today for everybody, I gotta do this kind of thing. It's like, no.
Yeah. I definitely
Yeah.
like enjoyed but got overwhelmed with like a lot of that kind of thing with just the like epic hunts or whatever they were and all of it.
Oh, and Red Dead?
Yeah, just all of
yeah.
just
It's
so
there
many
if you-
open
like,
world
those are like
task
they're there
lists.
if you want to do
Yeah.
them. You don't have to do them.
Yeah, Red Dead 2 is like, it tricked a bunch of people into playing a really advanced Western simulator. And like, if you really want to commit to improving your camp and drinking coffee and blah, 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 you absolutely can. But yeah, you can keep playing without it.
Yeah.
Like, your Deadeye might be a little low, but like, otherwise.
And it's
whatever.
like a lot of there is for like the like how Hebrew was doing like the role playing, like just being this character, like being in the world, it's there for you to do, which I think is really awesome. But it's like you don't have to do it if you don't really want to.
It's time for bets. This week's bet. Evil West, speaking of westerns, is out next Tuesday. It has a shotgun called the Rentier Boomstick.
Boom.
How many shotgun blasts will be in the launch trailer? Brad.
8.
8. Damiani.
6.
6. Damn. Isla.
17, Daniel.
17.
I like it.
I thought I was going for the high. 15.
Okay. Hope there's more weapons in there.
Well, there's a trend to cut to, gun blasts to music, so who knows?
Yeah, boom, ba boom, ba boom. How long will that trailer be? I don't know. Probably 90 seconds. 2 minutes. Last week's bet, we were checking for Goat Simulator 3, which is out today. Wanted to go through the top categories on Twitch, sorted by viewers, and I asked what rank Goat Simulator 3 would be right before the podcast this week. So I checked at 6 p.m., right as we were setting up. Huber bet it would be in 10th place. Brad bet it would be 15th place. Damiani bet 11th place. Isla bet 6th. And I bet 10. At 6 p.m., it was in 8th place.
Wow.
Way up there.
Good for Ghost.
Which means we're split. Isla, myself, and Huber are all as close to that number as possible.
So, coin flip or something?
I mean, I could check it again and see where it's at now,
Or we
but
just both
kind of
get
goes a little
points?
bit.
It goes against the bet.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, now it's at 6. Holy crap.
Well, bullseye.
What's Gabby think?
Gabby, what do you think?
We split the points?
Do we split the points, or does Baby get the points? The bet specifically said before.
Okay.
So
She says everyone who's right gets a point.
Yep. So both teams will get
Okay.
1 point.
That's what. Yeah. I mean, so you
That seems more
net
fair.
one more point, right?
Yeah.
Because my argument would have been like 2 of you got closer and only 1 of
Oh,
us.
so
like,
Blood and I get a point each,
yeah.
and Huber
So
gets.
you
Oh,
gain,
okay,
you gain
yeah,
1.
yeah.
That's what I would have argued.
That makes
should have
sense.
Been like the fair thing.
Wait, that we get 2 points or we get 1 point each per team?
He's saying
No,
you get 2, we
He's
get
saying
1.
Chubb's 2,
when you
other
read
one
the score, you gained 1
That's
more
what Gabby
point than
said
us.
too. Yeah.
So you
Oh,
get
okay.
plus 2, we get
Everybody's
plus
saying
1.
the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just had different logic.
So 3 points spread out across both teams. Got it.
Classic.
That makes
Chubs for the Chubs.
makes
says
things
Brad.
interesting.
So, yeah.
More interesting, 3 weeks ago, we've had this bet on hold. Harvestella launched back on November 4th. We were waiting for 10 English reviews on OpenCritic, looking to find out whether reviewers would have more instances of the words Harvest Moon or Stardew Valley, and by how much. Brad bet Harvest Moon by 1. Damiani bet Stardew Valley by 2. Isla bet Stardew Valley by 2. I bet Stardew Valley by 1. This is wild and this is wonderful. I'm going to go through this because this is dramatic. Gaming Nexus, Harvest Moon 0, Stardew Valley 1. Cog Connected, Harvest Moon 2, Stardew Valley 0. Twinfinite, Harvest Moon 0, Stardew Valley 2. Niche Gamer, Harvest Moon 1, Stardew Valley 1. Digitally downloaded, Harvest Moon 2, Stardew Valley 0. Video Chums, 0. They didn't use either one of them.
Okay.
Metro Game Central made up for it. Harvest Moon 6,
Okay, that's a
Stardew Valley 4.
Wow.
11 to 8.
Attack of the Fanboy didn't go for either one of them. God is a Geek, Harvest Moon 0, Stardew Valley 2.
11-10.
Rock, Paper, Shotgun, Harvest Moon 1, Stardew Valley 1.
12-11.
So that's Harvest Moon 12 to Stardew Valley
Plus
11.
1 Harvest Moon.
Wow.
That was me.
Brad nailed it.
Yeah. Who put like 6 Harvest Moons in their review and like
Metro
5?
Game Central.
Yeah. Thanks, Metro.
You're awesome.
Yeah.
Bringing the scores to Massive Chubs 23 split.
Sorry.
And Melodorous Sea Lions 23. Still tied.
Yeah, so we both just went up by 2, basically.
Yeah.
And everyone got a point.
Yeah. Everyone.
Everyone wins.
You get a point.
Everyone wins.
You get a point.
Let me tell you about patreon.com/easyallies. The future of Easy Allies depends on you. We rely on your support to keep everything that we do happening. You can do that through a Twitch sub. If you're here watching live, you can do a one-time donation, and a little link down there in the description on either Twitch or YouTube. But the best way to support us in the long term is to give us a monthly pledge on Patreon, which not only gives us the most benefit, but it gets you some fun rewards in return. At any tier, including the $1 tier, you get a version of this podcast that has no ads and 2 extra love and respect questions. At the $5 tier, you get early access to a lot of our shows, including the VOD of this, and you get to submit to Love and Respect and The Adventures of Dawn Romantica, and you get access to our Discord where you can interact with the rest of the community, and once in a while we'll pop our heads in there and comment on things or answer questions as well. And also today, we just announced that we are bringing back patron sponsors for reaction shots and frame trap. So if you want to get a little sponsor message in there and you're part of the community, jump in on one of those, and those will go up in the following month. Plus, we have a new thing that's sort of similar, but it's for if you don't have a commercial thing or whatever to say, you just want to do a personal message, a happy birthday or whatever, you can do a one-time personal message, and we can schedule that on any of our different shows, pretty much, just about, and maybe a group stream or something like that, too. At the very high end, our top couple of tiers, we also have our shout-outs. And this month's shout-outs go to Jaboabs, Elfanis, Greg, the Dark Knight Kettering, and Anacroft. Shout out.
Shout out.
All right. Everybody gets something.
Yeah.
So what do you want? We got a video promotion, we got final words, and we got sign-offs.
I want to do my sign off.
Okay, I'll do final word.
Oh wait, but I like Brad's sign off.
I have done it 3 times in a row, though, I think.
Okay, all right, I'll do mine then.
Okay. I guess I'll do a video. Let me pop over that easyallies.com and see what video.
Please always say it like that. Like Borat.
Not what I was going for, but sure.
My side. That was Gabby. Gabby said that. It was funny.
We had Trash Babies go up this week
Oh, heck yeah, we did.
for Shaq Fu, A Legend Reborn.
Oh, boy.
Apparently came out in
Yeah.
2018.
We did not know.
That was
the newer one, yeah.
It's a wild game.
Oh,
Yeah. Ooh.
It's maybe not as quite as wild as the original, but yeah, it's got some things going on. Also, I didn't recognize our controller entirely correctly, so we were left without some of our moves.
Yes.
But yeah, get on that Trash Babies. And there's extended cut on a $5 tier as well.
Yeah.
Brad.
Final word. Check out Tactics Ogre. Which camera's mine? This one. Check out Tactics Ogre Reborn. That game's sick, and I feel like it's going to get slept on. Don't sleep on it. I didn't rank one, but don't skip it. Check it out.
Love
And
that.
sign off, Isla.
Good night and good game.
everything else looks really good, and it was like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna run up and punch anyone in this game.